We're going live, boys.
Yo, Vergo, you got to join the movement, bro. We're making Tony venison steak, nigga. We cooking Chopper this year, nigga.
Oh, dude, Chopper can go fuck himself.
Tony venison.
Tony venison. I love it. All right, we live, baby.
That's the one thing I gotta give SP0 credit for, if anything, is just the memes. But other than that, there's nothing else really going for them.
Else.
Yo, what's poppin', motherfuckers? We got 800 subs. That's all celebrating I'm gonna do. It's whatever. We had a new chapter. It's lit. We got SP0 here, and apparently the secret leader of ZP0, Froob, is here as well.
The secret leader, Underlord.
Yeah, you weren't supposed to say that on stream, but I guess.
Expose him!
It's a good reveal for the 800 sub thing.
The real term is allegedly. He's allegedly the leader.
Facts.
Bro, how you guys doing today? Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. I hope everybody had a great time. Thanksgiving was phenomenal. Even though Iowa I was in bumfuck nowhere, but it was really enjoyable. But you know, God had some Cajun turkey. That was fire. Wrapped it in bacon. That was even more fire. But yeah, how are you guys Thanksgiving, guys?
Talking to you guys. I mean, I didn't really do anything, to be honest.
Just chilled.
Mine was really good.
I had a great time. Yeah.
A lot of family over. It was dope.
Where you had all the chillins? So your daughter and all the chillins were over?
Yeah, my sister and her 4 kids. And then,
yeah, I spent like $500 for my illegitimate children, too.
Jesus.
This man Madara a family man? Okay, I see you, nigga.
You didn't know that? Yeah. Madara's 45.
What?
I'm kidding. He's not 45, but he is up there.
Oh, okay. How much you got in your 401k, nigga? I had to ask. I'm sorry.
What's that pension, boy?
Wait, Jay, were you in that stream where we were talking about credit score? Like, you're not gonna fuck a bitch unless you got at least 800 credit
yes, I remember that shit. I remember that, yo.
That was funny.
That's a fact. My girl got an 800.
No, she's a keeper, man.
Big facts.
I had to work over. Oh man, but yeah, man, I'm ready to talk a little bit. I missed the boys. I thought I was not gonna stream till Monday. I was like, you know what? That chapter was fun for me, so I want to talk about it today. You hold your applause, drag down. Don't talk yet.
I'm not doing anything. What?
I know. I'm just saying.
Yeah, fuck you, Dritz. Stop fucking hating. We haven't even started yet.
I can literally feel I can feel your aura. You know how you can sense hockey? I feel your aura. You're like, good chapter. Fuck this thing. But yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. I gave it about a 8 out of 10. I thought it was funny. Matt said it earlier. It made sense. It was like early One Piece vibes. It was like really like carefree and fun.
Yeah.
I really dig that about it. Oden is a really likable guy. It's not forced upon you, kind of like Yasui was. It's natural. You see his charisma. You see how he acts. Yes, he's a Chad, but it's fun.
I wouldn't say I hate Oden by any means, but it's just like it feels like his character is a little bit too much for me. But yeah,
I think he's supposed to.
In what kind of way?
And like he's like so over the top. You know what I mean?
He is.
To where
I
the
like
point
him.
like it's like, you know, like he was like hanging on that thing and it looked like he was gonna die, and then like he didn't even say anything. Like I don't know. It's just like his character is so ridiculous. If that makes any sense, it's like too likable. I guess if that makes sense.
Yeah. He's like Muriel from My
I'm with you. No, like the nigga
like
fell
Muriel?
asleep while getting dragged underwater, bro. Like that's just ridiculous, man. All right.
I love it. And I'm pretty sure he was fat because he ate those sea kings, right?
What?
Wait, what?
Isn't that what happened?
Swollen up and
what?
stuff. I thought he just got swollen up because of the ice
same.
or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, it's possible. I thought it was swollen because he was just eating those sea kings he ran into.
To be honest, I wasn't really paying that much attention, so
I think that was just because like, they were like showing him getting like dragged through the waves and shit. It was just him just like being sick and just fucked up.
Yeah, because I think it was HCB the other day that said it was like, yeah, he got waterlogged for 3 days.
Yeah.
Waterboarding.
Yeah, waterboarding. Oh god.
Getting waterlogged.
ACB said, who the fuck is driving in the rain? I'm pretty sure that's JD.
Oh, that's me. Yeah, my bad, bro.
Oden is just hella perfect.
Yeah, I actually got to give Oda a little bit of credit because I did not expect any of this shit. I thought we were just gonna kind of like, because usually the way he does is he like gives us a little bit of shit and then he just blue balls us, but he's like kind of giving us like the entire flashback of like everything everyone wants to see.
I almost forgot. Actually, Fruit, I'm glad your dumbass is here.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the Oden flashback's only gonna be 3 chapters.
Shut up, bitch! I'll take my L when I take my L.
Did you actually say that?
That is a huge L.
Wait, no, I did not say it was only going to be 3 chapters. First off,
what'd you say then?
I said it was going to be 7 to 8.
Lying,
okay,
fuck! He's lying.
Well,
I said 7 to 8.
End up being true. I don't think it will, but
he's literally lying. I said 7 to 8. He said
no,
3
because
to
you were
5.
saying that it was going to last like a long, long time.
And
I believe the white man.
7 to 8 is a long, long time. That's 2 months.
Man's had to say that.
What did you say?
He said, "I believe the white man."
All right, listen, bro. Listen, I'll just say I'll take my L, man.
But listen, just first of all, you believe the white man over me. I got more credibility than the whites.
Listen, I gotta think about my future, man.
What's happening?
I gotta get
if I start siding with the blacks, then other whites are gonna just start looking at me funny.
What's up, Salmon? Stop it, Drip.
We got Draco in this bitch.
I said the whites one time in my life, and I was called racist, and I've never said that again.
It's because you're Somali, bro.
Like,
why is everybody Somalian?
Yeah, what is this?
Yeah, so is Waldo. You know that? The red nose.
There's a lot of Somalis on Twitter.
yeah, that has like BDA's community, like Bragos.
There are a bunch of Somalians and Brits.
Yeah, exactly. 75%.
That's why we all stand Blackbeard, bro.
Nah, but like, but I don't claim half.
Oh yeah, it's because everyone from Somalia is a fucking pirate.
Got him.
You got way too much on your chip, dog.
And there's stats on that.
Come on, dog. We are living One Piece.
That is actually a proven fact. Cypher called him a worse Luffy.
By the way,
I don't know about that.
Now look, the way I see it, Oden is cool, but that's all he is.
Why'd you out me like that, Fiji? Why'd you out me like that?
What did I?
I tell people I'm Somali, dog. I gotta keep that.
Nah. I mean,
Now they know
we
you
used to
dirty?
hold the L of being from Somalia together, dog.
What is with my chat
you
Somali
by the way,
gang?
what
Oh,
the
no.
I haven't been paying attention to these cover pages. What the fuck is going on in these cover
Look,
pages?
what, the germ
honestly, I have
pirates?
no idea, dude.
Germ pirates? Like, who are these people?
You guys are a bunch
Like, I
of
actually don't know what's going
It's
on.
just some random dudes, man.
Like, these guys have never been introduced
Like,
before.
so they spread their germs by kissing?
I don't even know why they're there, dude.
Wait, you guys actually read the cover pages?
Yes, I do.
Instantly.
No,
I usually just check them out, but like they're usually never important. But this one's just like weird. I don't know.
It is
I
really
never
weird.
heard
Like,
of
dog,
it.
like, are they just there to show that Beige and Vito and them are gonna body them?
Milwaukee.
I guess so, man.
I see zero relevance.
Man said, "Wallahi, Blackbeard is representing us."
So
Fucking
once
hell.
Capone buys them, that's Ty's gonna use that to argue Capone admiral level or something. I
Dude,
can already feel it.
That was like one of the few times like he actually managed to get under my skin. Because
Really?
yeah, when he said like Capone was stronger
Big
than
father?
Luffy.
wait, hold up. Do we know how long Oden was on Whitebeard's crew for?
We don't.
No.
No, we'll probably find out.
Yeah, because the way it's seeming now, the way that it seemed at first, a lot of people were kind of assuming that Oden was kind of with Whitebeard for like a few years, and then he went with Roger. But it seems like the way that it's looking for me is that he's only going to be with him for a little bit.
Oh,
and
yeah,
then
like
and
he'll
that
be
is
a
pretty
short
immediate.
period of time.
Yeah. It seemed like Whitebeard is really kind of just like a, I guess,
Stopgap.
yeah, like a plot device kind of to like get him out into the world.
Yeah, just to get him. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I mean, there could be like a little bit of a time skip where it's like 2 years later or something, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
I
think
think-
there will be though, because
I agree with you, man.
because it didn't make sense to me at the first place when we saw about it. Like, why would Oden just like randomly leave Whitebeard? But like now the way it's building it up to where like it seems like Whitebeard doesn't want like anything to do with him in the first place. It seems like it would make sense as to
Well,
why.
another way it kind of seems like Toki's gonna go with Roger as well, which we didn't know.
Wait,
Yeah.
you guys
Because
think
Toki's with Oden right now, so like Whitebeard's not going back to Wano. That's the impression that he gave, at least.
Yeah, and it also
So-
makes sense because a lot of people were always talking about like who on Roger's crew could read poneglyphs, and I think that it's probably Toki. Or wait, no, Oden was the one, right? Fuck,
Well,
I'm retarded.
from what it's looking like right now, he might have been taught how to read and write them from Toki because
Ooh, okay.
we don't know anything about him. Like he doesn't
Ah.
really seem that knowledgeable about like
Yeah, he
the
sounds like a
Kozuki and
clown.
Mink stuff. Because whenever he saw Inuarashi and Nekomamushi, it's like nothing really clicked there.
Yeah.
So he might have been taught by Toki.
So what's going on with the whole 800 years ago? Is she around the Void Century time or is she not? Because I'm hearing a lot of that was after.
She's the thing she's
Yeah,
wearing,
800 years ago would be at the end of the Void Century.
Yeah.
But you know what's weird? Would it be at the end of the Void Century?
Yeah, because Void
right
Century is
now-
actually like the beginning of it was 900 years ago.
Exactly, yeah.
It was a
it'd be
100-year war, so at the 100th year, it would be 800 years ago.
Yeah, but when was the Void Century? 800 years from like
900
then, or
years from the current timeline.
from like Luffy in that timeline, or from Oden?
Yeah.
From like where we
From
are
Luffy.
right now in the story.
So it would be like 20 years remaining to it, basically. Maybe she was sent as a
Yeah, something around there. Like we just know that the war ended. Well, we don't actually know the details of what happened. We just know that it was like 100 years,
Yeah,
basically.
honestly, I don't
So
really know the
she's
timeline,
post
but
Void Century.
yeah, the way that it's set up, it's heavily just implied. Like, whenever we see something 800 years, like, he obviously put that in for a reason, right? So,
Right.
She's wearing the Wano fit, bro, and she seems like
She
she's
is.
never been to Wano, so I'm confused.
She might have. I don't know. Depending on.
I
what
generally
her
think she's
connections are. Good.
No, I generally.
Oh, he's lying.
Yikes.
Yeah, Jay, if you
Yeah.
can hear us, bro, you're roboting everywhere.
From ancient Wano, if anything. Am I lagging?
Yep.
I think you're good now. I think
Yeah,
you're
you're
good
lagging.
now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, I definitely think she's from ancient Wano. And I think she got lost through her time loop. I also think she has something to do with Ryuma as well. I think Ryuma and Toki are connected in a way that will probably tie into Wano as a whole, because the whole storyline of Ryuma itself has kind of just been thrown in our face over and over and over again. So I think, and it's kind of coincidental that Kaido's a dragon, Ryuma's Slayer dragon. If Toki is linked with Ryuma, I think Oda's going to put all this stuff together. That's just my thoughts.
That's a good thought, Jay. But
like
to
that.
go along with that, this could be somewhat connected. Is the sword that Toki is holding, is that one that we've seen before? I suck so bad with the swords in One Piece. I honestly have no idea. But it kind of looked like one of Zoro's swords.
Yeah, I'm as much as I am a Zoroark, I don't know anything about the swords either, but it does look a little bit familiar now that you say that.
Yeah,
False
what's it
flagger.
called, the hilt. What's that shit called? Like on that shit, man. The fucking
Like
Yeah.
the temper of the blade or whatever it is, like
Yeah.
the curly,
The
wavy
hammer.
design thing. It kind of looks similar to like the one that is that maybe the Nidai Katetsu? I don't know. But
Mm,
Good,
that
the
would
it
be-
curly
looks
on
like
the
a
ankle.
Katetsu or something.
Someone was trying to say that was one of Oden's swords, but I thought the curvature was different.
I think Oden already has both his swords, doesn't he?
It would.
He
He does
Well,
have
I guess it's never been confirmed.
Well,
but
he
does
has
have
two swords, but we don't know if
Yeah.
these are his two
Yeah.
like swords he's gonna.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah,
he was
so-
given a
so-
sword. That's another point is that with all the importance on Odin's swords, we haven't even he hasn't even shown their names yet or like said them in the
Yeah.
flashback yet. So maybe he gets a new sword at some point or something.
What's up, big news?
Just here to talk about this Wano greatness.
Here we go
Oh,
again.
we got Mr. Wano as top
What's
one.
up, new Twitter
That's,
account?
that's right.
New
Yo,
Twitter
that
account.
actually tripped me out.
Oh no, that's not BDV, Dritz.
Yeah, that actually tripped me out because it was like
That's
big
big
news.
news, not
I was
BDV.
expecting BDV, and I heard that voice. I'm like,
Oh,
did
no.
Where
No,
is
you knew it was
BDV
big
though,
news when he
man?
was
Free
standing
up that
Wano.
nigga.
Yeah, this is the Wano greatness right here.
That's crazy.
Wano
When someone
business.
said that, oh, never mind. I'm not even gonna.
No,
No,
it, Fruit.
say that shit.
Yeah, say it.
No, I honestly thought that fucking Big News and BDV were the same person.
Don't stop it.
Prove no, you didn't. Y'all are both Zorotards. You know y'all not the
Because they're black?
him.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Listen, there's way too many fucking black people in my side of the community for me that to be that
On
simple.
your side of the community. Oh shit, hold on. Fruit be on ghetto Twitter.
Wait, what do you mean?
He
That's 'cause
said
I'm
my
on
side of
Bravo's
the community. Fruit was
Fuck,
like,
fuck
yeah.
all those white
Oh,
dudes, Roger
me,
Base.
hey, Fruit was like, yeah, man, Twitter with me and my niggas.
Fuck the white side of the community. Fuck Rogers Base. Fuck Joy Boy.
Oh,
Y'all heard it here, folks.
The thing is, I think he actually believes that though.
Probably.
He didn't include Dritz though.
Nah, because Dritz made the
I'm my own
conversion.
community.
Dritz
my
made the
nigga.
conversion a long time ago.
Twitch definitely jumped ship.
He fucking hates Joy Boy now.
Hey, listen, man. I used to fuck with Roger. I don't think you fuck with me. Ever since he came to this stream and got spoiled on
I
Hunter
don't
x
think
Hunter.
Roger actually hates anyone, so I don't
No,
think
Roger came in my stream and Toddy spoiled him on Hunter x Hunter.
Dude,
So Roger got
That
pissed
ignorant.
off and he talked to me a
I'm
little
not
bit. He got
surprised
pissed
Toddy
off.
did that.
He unfollowed me on Twitter and hasn't talked to me since.
Toddy.
Toddy ruins everything. So that makes sense.
Legend, bro.
Yo, man, unfollow though. That's niggas that unfollow. I just don't respect it.
I mean, it's whatever,
That's just so
bro.
weird. That's a weird
I'm
thing
not
to
hurt
do.
about
You
it. I'm
know?
still ain't nothing changed. I'm still ignorant.
Now I don't care, innit? You can unfollow, but I just find it weird.
Me and Joy,
I am
I
actually
actually still follow.
astonished
I
that
actually
Roger's
follow
face
Joy Boy,
follows me.
even after my little rant last year.
Froob, I mean, you gotta follow all the white people in the community.
That's true.
That's true.
Oh, hey,
No,
are
but
you
the thing
boys
is,
ready
like,
for
the
the?
shit that I tweet has absolutely nothing to do with anything that is related to Roger's base. I'm surprised he doesn't just see my shit and be like, I'm unfollowing this retard. Get out of here.
Yo, somebody was
You rarely ever post, and most of your activity free was you retweeting dumb shit.
Yeah, you always,
all the time.
Because I only ever fucking like interact with shit that tilts me.
Like
yeah, you
niggas
always
twerking.
I noticed that.
Like
I
guys
noticed that about
twerking.
something.
It's only
Yo,
like
Red
it's
Force
always
podcast
political and like
hit episode 100.
What's that?
Red Force podcast hit episode 100.
Yeah, I know it was great.
I'm pretty sure they know what they did. Why did you bring that up?
Nah, he's in the chat, innit? Yeah,
Hi, Eric.
nah, that was interesting to me.
You love them?
He's been going every week.
It was interesting.
No.
Go ahead and explain it to us then.
Yeah, how interesting is it?
No, they didn't miss a single week, innit? That's what
I didn't even think I'd watch a single episode of that.
That was not very nice.
What's it
Nah, I'm
called?
just saying, I never watched it.
The Red Force podcast.
The Red Force Podcast.
Nah, it's just people need to push the
Yeah,
Shanks
I
agenda,
like
man.
those
Niggas
boys.
know Shanks is top one.
Yeah.
Me and Eric get along. I feel like Kristen like doesn't care for me.
What's the difference between them?
What?
There's a difference.
Yo,
Thank you. I
Kristen's
still
a little
don't know
bit
which
more
one's which.
fiery.
I actually don't know which one's which.
I do.
Dude, I swear to God, up until like it was like in the middle of a stream that it hit me. I thought they were the same person for the longest time. I actually like it came to me when like two of this they like both came in the call at the same time and I'm like, wait, what the fuck's going on? You just joined on two different computers or something? and then I'm like, wait, I actually don't know like my entire like conversation because I remember most of my conversations with them. I have no idea if I was talking to one or the other the entire like because I always just thought they were the same person.
Everyone just calls them both
Eric
Eric.
said Kristen doesn't get involved.
yeah. All I know is Eric.
Oh fuck.
I fuck with Eric. And Eric always comes by the streams. Christian like will not even follow me back on Twitter. I'm pretty sure Christian doesn't fuck with me.
Maybe he doesn't.
What's up, Eric?
He's getting his mic in.
He's taking it out his ass.
Yeah, they always have mic issues.
Are they like conjoined Mike twins?
Christian doesn't get involved in Twitter or the community in general.
Really? You sure he doesn't like me because I'm black?
That's
Yeah,
probably
that's-
part of it.
I
yeah.
knew that was coming.
I mean, he hated Dritz until I got Dritz on the show.
Literally, he hated my guts, and now I guess he likes me. So I don't know how that works.
That's hilarious.
That's usually how it goes.
You know, just I actually
White
never
though,
hated
innit?
you.
You have privileges.
Because the thing is when you watch Dritz and you see him shit on One Piece, you kind of just hate him, and then you get him in a stream, and he's just too
He's
like.
still-
Me and
Hey,
just
don't
have a weird
look
relationship.
like-
We were just always cool.
I
mean,
hate
you
this
can,
because he
you
makes
can
me
hate
want to shit on
someone's
One Piece.
shitty opinions, but not the actual person.
Dude, Frib, remember whenever King used to confuse me and you together?
People still do.
People still do
know,
that.
dude.
Dude, I was like talking. It might have actually been in a Vergo stream. I can't remember. I was in someone's stream recently, and they're like, "Tell Dritz to shut up." I'm like, "Dude, come on."
No, bro. Somebody,
It
bro,
literally
somebody,
happens
somebody,
every time
bro.
me and Frib
Somebody
go to
thought you
stream
were
with
Toddy.
like 100
It's
people.
because you're both canceled.
Fruit, someone thought you were Toddy.
No,
Toddy,
no.
because you know Toddy says nigga a whole bunch. He was like, "Yo, can you tell Fruit to stop saying nigga?" I was like, "That's not Fruit."
Oh no.
I saw that call.
You saw that, right, Jen? I'm like, "That's not Fruit." It's fucking ridiculous, dude. Whoa. Who making pizza rolls?
I don't know.
Yo,
But say something to me, dog.
Yeah, that's right, man.
Ridiculous. But no, it's funny though, thinking about last year's Reverie. Have you guys set a time for the next one?
It's tentatively to like the new year, basically.
Oh, shit.
Roger said 2 months away, so we'll see what actually happens.
So I guess he changed his mind again then.
Dope. That's interesting. Hold on. I wasn't there for the stream, but like people were like messaging me, telling me like the top 30 is going down soon.
Yeah, well, there's we got 2 weeks of no One Piece, so seems the good time to fit it.
That's
It's usually
perfect
out
time.
at the end of November, but
I
we're
can't
gonna
wait,
have a
man.
little
Last
bit
one was
later.
a blast.
Tris, I don't think I've talked to you since 962. Have you been liking these chapters?
No, I have not, Frib.
Oh, okay.
That was such a softball fucking
Yeah,
question.
I also want to say that question was probably you could.
Well, no, I mean, I'm just curious because fucking even I don't know. I just figured he would at least enjoy like some of these chapters a little bit, but
yeah, I'm actually okay.
Yeah.
You know what? Piggybacking on that, Fruit, I'm actually a little surprised you didn't like this one, Dritz.
Oh my gosh,
Same here.
dude!
I'm not gonna lie. I love this chapter.
Every stream I go into, it just turns into this one.
Yeah, deja vu right now.
well,
No,
I mean,
it doesn't. That's not
dude.
true, Dritz. We're safe haven.
What's that?
We're safe haven here. All right.
Well, no. Here's the thing.
I don't think I've ever been in a safe haven.
Even though I don't like, even if I don't agree with Dritz on his hate for One Piece, I still think that
His opinions are valid.
the reason why I ask him is just because I think that even sometimes his criticisms are valid and make me see things like, because he just sees the story from a different perspective sometimes. So I'm just interested to see what his problems are with it.
He actually brings reasons that make sense, which I like. That's why I like.
Not just like fucking some shitlord that I won't name that just calls it
it's
trash.
It's trash.
Yeah.
Wow, dude, we're really gonna bring up my boy like that.
Yeah. Anyways.
I don't even know.
Yeah. Just continue.
Wait, who are you talking
You can
about?
shit on One Piece,
I don't know who I'm talking about.
but you will not shit on Wano.
Shut up! Big news. Big Wano is good. It's not the best fucking arc of all
Wait, are
time,
you saying
nigga.
I wouldn't poop on Wano?
You can shit on One Piece. I don't give a fuck. But that space called Wano, you gonna leave that
You
alone.
do understand that Wano is
Just
One
for the
Piece,
past
right?
like 8 months, then, bro.
Yo, big news. Let's
No, but
get
yeah.
into
Well,
this
what
whole
you
piece.
just what do you not like particular? Is it just same old shit, or is there anything?
It's a bunch
Hey, Draco,
of
can you
the
try
same old
something
stuff
for
that's
me
been
real quick?
before. I would actually kind of elaborate on kind of what you were saying before, Froob. Surprisingly, I heard from my league sources that you were not the biggest fan of Oden,
My league
and
sources.
I was surprised that I figured you'd be on that Zoro agenda. So anything to up Zoro, you would just apply to Oden. But that's how I thought it would be. But I'll describe it, I guess, in a bit more detail. I do not like. I think Oden is being made to be too much of a likable character instead of a good one.
Yeah.
So I feel like all of the things that you would normally have in a good character are being accentuated way too fast and are just being shoved into the audience's faces. So you're being expected and forced to like him so that whenever his death comes, there's like a reason to be sad, but I don't like the way it's been executed because it's like it feels like it's too much of a narrative being pushed down my throat without much substance because we have
Without consent.
the montage of like I don't know how many chapters, 4 or 5 chapters now for the flashback. Maybe it's 5.
I believe we're 5.
I'm keeping count.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's just like a difference of like scale because I pretty much agree with everything you said. It's just I don't hate it enough or find it as bad enough to where I don't enjoy it. I
Yeah,
guess.
so for me, it's kind of a little bit
Draco,
like
are you echoing?
Oden's being. I don't like it whenever
People think you're
the
echoing. Can you
characters
mute
are
real
being
quick?
shoved down my mouth and I'm being
I wanna
told
check
how
something.
to feel about them.
Yeah.
And another part of it is that I don't really feel like I'm actually connected to Oden as a character because we're being told that he's awesome, but I don't really feel like I really get that like the actual side of Oden that makes him a bit more
Yeah, 'cause
human and relatable.
I'm assuming because we like kind of like skimmed over a lot of it.
Yeah, we skimmed over a lot of stuff and like everything that had to do with Wano, which was kind of like obviously it's the arc we're in right now, and a lot of the characters that he met in Wano are players in the current timeline. So for me, a lot of his relationships with those characters kind of just got like skipped over and montaged, and I feel like and I can't expect everything to be like super duper detailed, but for those characters, I kind of expected a little bit more. So for me, the montage of Oden's entire life is kind of like having the opposite effect on me. I'm not liking him. I'm just kind of finding him just like to just be a character. Like I don't hate him, but I do not like him either. It just kind of feels a little bit forced for me to like him.
Yo, Vergo, am I still echoing or is it gone?
No, you sound good, bro.
That's a chat.
I never heard of Echo in the first place. But
I don't either. I don't know where the fuck it's coming from.
Speaking like you brought up a point of like this flashback is supposed to make us like when he dies like feel something. But, like I agree with you. Like based on the relationships that they didn't even build on in this flashback, I won't feel anything when he dies. Like it'll be a bad moment for me. But I also still like him. Like I like his character. Like it's not like something that will like hit me when he dies.
Yeah, like the example that I used before, and the only reason I use this example because if I use the Zoro example, everyone's gonna fucking call me a fanboy. So I'll use the Sanji example.
Oh boy.
Like the good thing about like the Sanji backstory is that it kind of like fits everything into his character and makes everything make sense, especially with like his whole thing about his mom and like how that gives him respect for women, and like how him like starving on the island gives him respect for like starving people and fucking like wanting to make food for people, and like that whole thing with Zeph, it like crafts this character that you kind of understand and makes sense. With Oden, I don't really feel like that. It's kind of just like this is how he is, but like not like why he's like this or how he became like this. It's just this is how he is.
Yeah, I like Oden a lot. I like Oden because he's selfish and it's all about him. He doesn't care what anybody thinks. So I'm gonna do things my way. I'm gonna pay my respects in my way. If you say I can't go, I'm gonna go anyway. That's the
Yo, Vergo, the chat says that everyone is echoing, so someone must be wrong with OBS.
I don't.
Oh no.
Do you have it opened in another tab?
Yeah.
Imagine.
Is your YouTube volume?
Yeah, if you have the stream open on YouTube to check the chat.
Yeah, but they're telling me that it didn't start until Eric joined, and Eric left and it's gone.
Oh no,
it's gone.
And he's
No,
back,
he's
so
gone
we're
now.
gonna
He
see.
joined back again. Let's check if he's back.
Well, Mike's on mute. What do they want?
I don't know.
Oh no.
They're all blaming Eric. We're good now. Bang.
All right.
Nice.
I see he's still there.
Still, well, Eric came back. Oh no.
Oh, he's been there though.
No, he dropped out and came back.
I dropped out for literally like 2 seconds.
I know, but those
I'm
two.
not hearing
The
anything.
moment you dropped out, they said it was good, and now they all agree it's you.
I'll check that.
That's so weird though.
It's weird, especially because I know he has a very good mic setup.
Wait, hold on. Yeah, I guess. Can you join and leave again for 1 second, just so I can hear on the stream if that's not a big issue?
Yeah.
Thank you, Eric.
He muted.
Yo. Hello.
Yo,
Echo,
hello.
check
Breaker,
1,
breaker.
2.
Sanji's crashed.
Whoa.
What's it sound like, Fruit?
It hasn't caught up yet. It's about
Okay.
to catch up right now.
Alrighty.
Doo-doo-doo.
We're having technical difficulties.
Yeah, it's still echoing.
Still echoing?
It's
Okay,
definitely something on your end
It's not
because
Alright, I'm gonna go tweak some things.
yeah, because I don't know exactly what's it's weird. Yeah, it's kind of like there's like two things playing the audio or something because it's not like a traditional echo. It just sounds like someone's like talking in a room and that's like projecting. If that makes sense, I don't know how to explain it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Some are saying it's good.
Settings.
You mean apparently if it's not that bad, it's whatever, dog. I'm gonna fucking keep going.
Yeah, it's not the worst thing in the world, honest. It's kind of
ACV said no echo, but I heard a retarded comment about Sanji. I don't know. This Sanji Zoro faction shit is ridiculous.
It's getting cringe at this point. Like every day is a new video, and like the videos are losing their like the funniness that they had at the beginning.
Yeah.
Lame, but now at this point.
Am I lagging? Or was it him?
I don't like that.
No, it's not on your end. It's on Vergo's.
I mean, yeah, but either way, I don't care. But I think it's still ridiculous.
I don't know.
Lose this 800 club. That's my Mihawk is too strong, bro.
Please.
Yeah.
It sounds like everyone has
Virgo
Virgo's old mic. Touche.
Yeah, it wasn't you, Eric.
Yeah.
Sorry, Eric.
I figured it wasn't, but I just wanted to make sure.
Check it's usually when you have your desktop audio on your recording. That's probably the problem, but whatever.
I just need to mute myself. That's not gonna happen.
Yeah, you can mute the desktop audio just to see if that fixed anything.
Yeah.
Desktop audio shouldn't matter much for streaming anyway.
It shouldn't.
And it'll also save you the embarrassment if you're like watching porn while you're talking and the audio comes on.
Oh no!
Seems like a personal story.
I mean, I've done it.
Like, but at this point, I don't really care. Keep on going, boys.
Wait, you've done what?
What?
I mean,
what?
sometimes you just gotta bust a nut. You know what I'm saying?
Kind of,
listen,
actually.
that's wild. that is beyond wild.
What?
But I want to say something interesting. So, do you guys have any like theories as to why Toki might have went to the future for random reason?
I'm like, and I mean maybe a personal thing, but like, I haven't really gained any interest for Toki as of now.
Well, you just met her.
Yeah, and I don't think I'm not like that interested in like her storyline of things. I just want to like go back to the Wano.
But you know she's gonna be a pivotal part, don't you?
Well, it seems like she just spams it to get out of trouble. So.
Yeah, because she was getting ready to do it again, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Which is kind of weird. I wonder if she can like micro control it so it's like a couple hours or something like that.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out like what's the limiter.
There has to be some kind of limit.
I feel like she got like stranded from Wano 800 years ago, is trying to get back. For like
how would that work? I mean, I guess there's a number of ways it could work. So
yeah, I mean, I don't really know exactly. I feel like the story is kind of going to be pretty straightforward. I mean, maybe you guys disagree with this, but I feel like her story is going to be pretty much like whatever happened in the Void Century. They were basically like getting run over or about to die, whatever happened at the end of the war.
Yeah. I don't think you're going to get much from the Void Century.
And then she like jumped forward in time basically to like save herself and like carry on the story of the Void Century or something.
I think she might jump to like Ryuma's timeline, so we get that flashback in this flashback. Maybe.
Damn, interesting.
She might jump to what?
Ryuma's timeline?
Why Ryuma's timeline though? Like, did you actually give a reason why?
So Wing in the chat, it keeps on saying that the Ancient Kingdom had a backup plan.
We need to know like why the borders are closed. And that has to do with Yuma and the
that's what you're saying.
But you think that's related?
We're basically going to get like a backstory within a backstory?
Yeah, maybe.
That's possible. I'm not expecting that, to be honest. I don't know if because like she would have had to have gone forward 400 years in time.
I mean, the way that he's saying it kind of makes sense, to be honest, because
yeah, I mean, I can get that.
Like, I can kind of see that to where it like we get like a mini backstory of like every timeline she's entered since here, because it seems like she's obviously been jumping forward in time over and over again.
Yeah, what I had originally thought is that she had done some like prophecy stuff, or someone from the Void Century that whenever they're basically like the plot for like Terminator, basically. You have to go forward like 800 years to find John Connor, aka Oden, aka Roger, so that you can help them set up for Luffy's generation. Basically, that's how I kind of thought.
I really, really hope it's not like that, but it's honestly might be possible. So.
Otherwise, I don't really know what it is because I mean she's already done like the prophecy stuff, like it's kind of tied to her, so I don't know if she has some like Charlie abilities that comes with like the time manipulation, which she kind of like divine the future in a sense. But it right now it doesn't really seem like that because she's like, I'm just gonna go forward in time. If like moving forward in time, if you had a prophecy going forward, then you would assume that you just like you go forward for a specific reason. You just can't just like be willy nilly about it. I'm just gonna go forward another 3 years.
She also might be like connected to Zoe and the Minx, and like Zonisha might be waiting for her and shit. So.
There's something like that.
Yeah, because right now she's like acting like the movie Jumpers, where she's just like going at will and doing whatever she wants. There has to be a limiter of some sort. I wanted to ask though, Eric, what do you think about the chapter, sir?
Nice. Not wrong.
What, will you fucker stop shoving spoons up your ass and answer my question?
No.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
not.
good chapter. I like seeing Roger and Whitebeard in the past. It's kind of like.
Hey, like Ace, old
exactly
Ace,
like Ace.
Yeah, I was about to say he really does.
Old
We've been dreaming about these chapters for years. Like, I want to see when they were young and shit. So it's nice to see it. Every week you get a little bit more of Oden's character, which is good. It's getting fleshed out.
Oh yeah. Also, I hear if Christian's in the background, ask him why he hates me.
Bro, we're in different states. All right.
Liar.
We live in different states at the moment, so.
Y'all don't live together? I thought y'all were married.
Yeah, I moved like 3 months ago.
Oh.
Also, wait, hold on. Weren't we supposed to be on break last week? Is this like a super early chapter or something?
I think we're supposed to be a chapter.
What are you talking about? We're on break this week, dude.
I didn't see anything from last week about a break.
Yeah, me neither.
I'm tired of Oden taking breaks, man.
For some reason I thought we were on a
break. Wait, what, bro? What you say, Big News?
I'm tired of him taking breaks. He needs to get to work. Fuck.
All right. He's not as bad as Tagashi.
He has spoken.
I was honestly wondering, like, I definitely can see why you got banned from Twitter. You're a good troll.
Wait, what are you talking about?
He did not get banned from Twitter. That was BDV.
Wait, hold on. I'm confused. I thought you said he was the one that got banned from Twitter.
No, it was BDV.
Oh my god! Now I'm just fucking confused, bro.
Because his name is Big News, but on Twitter, BDV is Big News Morgans.
Oh, okay. That's why they keep saying that. Okay, got you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck,
Haley
dude.
did not
Bro,
get
you just
named.
ruined everything in my head, dude.
Plot twist is crazy, bro.
ACB Drip said Ace was the biggest disappointment in manga history. I agree.
This is harder to follow than a fucking Bleach chapter.
I'm gonna skate past
It's
that
too
comment.
complex for you.
Billy Bob said it sounded like she jumped through time to escape people before, so maybe that was the only reason she kept jumping. She did have that prophecy though, so oh my fucking god, Eric.
What?
Yeah, can you stop literally shoving spoons in your ass, bro?
Bro.
At least mute yourself if you're not gonna talk. These awesome, bro.
I thought it was. You should have told me earlier. I just assumed I was not that far close to the mic. I wouldn't pick it up.
You know what? I'm gonna skate past that comment as well. No, Jesus Jones. But no, I like the chapter, even though Oden got waterboarded for 2000. Izo was being very snarky to Whitebeard. I thought it was really funny, especially because we all know that Izo, he eventually joins. He was like, I'm gonna beat your ass if you do this to Lord Oden. Nah. Fuck is you gonna do? You chained up. Marco. Does he have the fruit now or no?
No, probably not.
He hasn't done. We haven't seen him do anything, so.
I know, except for being Oden's biggest cheerleader.
I don't even know how young Marco is. Like, some panels he looks like he's a little kid, and some panels he looks like an old teen. I don't get it.
I don't get it either. But somebody was talking about how they really enjoyed how they liked how he brought it, how there were tens of thousands of islands.
One person up. Like he had to fly over and pick Izo up.
What if he just used Geppo or whatever?
He climbed the chain.
Let me go back and read that. I didn't even think about that when you.
Well, it doesn't show how it happened, so I don't know.
Yeah, like how would he pull up one person when they're connected to one chain? I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good question. So maybe Marco did fly over.
Oda probably did.
Unless they pulled him up and like, oh, Oden, back in you go.
Yeah, maybe.
That'd be the only thing I could think of.
What do you guys think about this crescent moon shit? See it again this chapter.
I'm sorry.
What for?
The Toki tattoo.
For the skank.
The skank.
Damn.
I mean, just kind of fits her name, right? I mean, that's symbolism for her name. I don't think she's connected to the moon or anything.
There's definitely some connections there.
I think there's like symbolic stuff for it, just like, you know, the Kozuki symbol is the sun and stuff, and there's like that entire theory that people believe, but I don't think she's connected to outer space or anything. At least that's just me.
But also, can we talk about what Toki's wearing? How she wants to go to Wano, but she has on traditional Wano garb.
Yeah,
that doesn't like stir an alarm to you.
It does.
Wait, what do you mean?
She has like traditional Wano garb on. She's wearing
Wano,
an outfit they wear in Wano. Like around the world, you don't see folks dressed like that.
Well, yeah, no, but the idea I kind of got was that she was originally from Wano and she got lost in some way, shape, or form, and she's trying to make her way back. Was that not the idea? I
thought it was stated she said she'd never been to Wano.
Yeah, the general consensus. I mean, she has a Japanese name, basically, so.
Yeah.
Didn't she say she had always dreamed of going to Wano? Does that mean that she dreamed of going back?
Whenever she said that, I thought
dreamed of going back.
The way I interpret it, I think she was just selling that to Oden. Whereas, like, I always dreamed of going to Wano. Why don't you take me there?
She's bullshit.
Kind of interesting.
Because she's not going to tell him, like, because she told him later on after she like started trusting people. I'm 800 years, you know, I come from the past, Samurai Jack, and you know, she didn't tell him that right away. So
I did find that I actually really liked that comedy though in the chapter. I'm not sure if some other people didn't catch it, but like when she was like, I really want to go back to Wano, and Oden was disgusted.
Yeah, I can't believe that my boy Whitebeard dirty with the same face, man.
It came up twice.
Yo, man, that disgusting Whitebeard face is funny than a motherfucker, dog. He was like,
I don't know what, this has to be whack because literally Whitebeard had like the Hulk Hogan, like,
brother,
the adventure of a lifetime, brother.
Brother,
I get it from Whitebeard.
Yo, I did not get that vibe at all.
I do get that vibe. I've been getting that vibe since Marineford, bro.
Oh yeah, the adventure's going to be real.
That's like I called him Whitey Chan.
You're not the one that Roger's looking for, brother.
Let me tell you something, Oden. The world is a lot bigger.
Jesus.
Yeah, you can be a voice actor.
That was pretty goddamn good. Oh, that was funny. No, that's funny.
You think we getting a
NDC. He said, I was looking up Vergo versus Law and I found this live stream. You know what? I'm glad you found the live stream, but it's kind of fucked up that you're looking at Vergo get fucked up. That's essentially what was happening. Oh, yeah.
in the perfect sequence of events,
Hogan,
we get Blackbeard joining the crew soon.
Well, you think we're gonna see that in this flashback?
I hope so, because I want to see Shanks versus Blackbeard while they're both apprentices. Because there's no way Shanks is getting, there's no way Blackbeard is hurting Shanks. In any other time, that's been my headcanon from day one.
I'm sorry. Can you run that back?
My headcanon from day one has been that the whole Blackbeard and Shanks altercation took place on a Roger versus Whitebeard altercation.
Oh, interesting. Wait, did Shanks have? Remember when we saw that thing where it was like Shanks watching Roger get executed?
In every single flashback, his eye is hidden. Like when he goes to get Yasop, when in the flashback of the Roger execution, and even him asking Buggy to join his crew after the Roger execution. In all of those, his eyes covered.
We don't know when he got it.
So it could very well have been.
Yo, yeah. I instantly went to that scene to see if he had that scar and they hid that eye.
Yeah. So
I'm kind of hoping, honestly, for like my own agenda, I hope that's a little bit later. Like whenever Shanks is like 8 years old, I wasn't fooling around either because it would just make his words to Whitebeard seem
that would look so bad. I was going all out.
You remember your first yellow waves? I stuck with
that's
it.
a fact.
Come on, because you know Shanks top one.
I remember the first time I busted that in public.
I mean, Oda doesn't give a fuck about power scaling, but it really wouldn't make any fucking sense if Blackbeard scarred him before the fruits.
It kind of would though, because the reason why Shanks is so like not scared, but the reason why he's so wary of Blackbeard, it could be for different reasons. It doesn't necessarily have to be that Blackbeard was strong. It made it seem like Blackbeard caught him slipping, like the way he got him down was like, I don't know, mischievous. If that makes sense.
Well, Shanks said it wasn't like that though.
No, Shanks.
He literally said he had his guard up.
He said it's not like I wasn't expecting it. He did say that. But when I say mischievous, I don't mean he sneaked him. I just
like
mean like he got
special power or something, or
not special power. I mean like he got him down on like a ruthless thing when they were kids. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because Shanks is also 2 years younger than him, and as kids, the 2-year difference is pretty big. If they were, apprentices at the time.
Yeah, but I think isn't Blackbeard a lot older or no?
Blackbeard is not a lot older. He's 1 year older.
Oh, it's 1 year.
Only 1 year?
Okay, so they could have possibly...
Blackbeard in the current timeline is 40, and Shanks is 39.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of wild.
Interesting.
So Blackbeard joined at 18? 17?
We don't know when he joined.
Not necessarily.
Because he said he had a 20-year plan.
This
so
is like 30-something years ago. So
he said he had a 20-year plan. So that means he was there for at least 20 years or more.
we don't really know when he joined. So
yeah, but back on that, like when he got scarred, like, the way that I like read it when they were mentioning that scar and how Blackbeard gave it to Shanks, I feel like it would like reduce its like importance or like how big of a feat it was for Blackbeard if it happened when they were trainees or apprentices. That's
when they were training.
I just don't want to have to deal with all of like the anti-Blackbeard slander when people are just like, "Oh, Shanks was a kid, doesn't matter."
Yeah, but Blackbeard was also a kid, so I don't think it takes away from that. I just think it makes more sense.
But that's like a long time that happened between those 2 days, like.
Because I don't think it will ever get fleshed out. I don't think.
The whole point of the scar is just to connect the rivalry and relationship between the two. So it doesn't really matter when it happened.
Well, it actually does kind of matter what happens because out of all the scars that Shanks has, that's the one that means the most to him.
I mean,
he even tells Whitebeard that it can't just be like a random engagement where like they just randomly fought each other and then boom, bada bing. It's definitely an important event. It's not something arbitrary where they were just fighting in a skirmish.
Mm-hmm. Which is why I
real weight on it.
I guess
it could have been Shanks got.
I always assumed it happened when like Shanks was like gathering his crew and shit. Like early in his journey.
For me, it has to be important because Shanks made it seem like it was important to him. So.
It could have just been his first scar as a kid.
No,
Like,
but
what's the
no,
chance?
it's not gonna be scars carry a symbolic importance. It's not just gonna be like, I just got it. What's better? You know what? It's not like Luffy's scar underneath his arm, or like underneath his eye or whatever.
Scar on his face, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
that is the biggest. I genuinely think that's just aesthetic.
I mean,
It
that scar might be a cap. I don't know. The scar for Shanks though isn't because Shanks said it wasn't. So I'll trust Shanks.
Bro, Blackbeard gave that nigga.
There has to be some
point.
special context to how he got it that matters to him.
I just don't see us getting that context anywhere other than this flashback, though. That's why, because.
Really?
We get Emperor flashbacks, so you'd assume we get a.
I mean, Shanks will eventually come to greater importance. I think we'll find out regardless if it happens in this flashback or not.
Mm-hmm.
But I would like to see Blackbeard join.
What I want to see is the Whitebeard versus Roger Pirates clash.
You might see a clash. You're not seeing much more though.
You want to see Rayleigh get walked by Marco get walked by Rayleigh?
Marco versus Shanks and Buggy. That's what I want to see.
That's a wash.
Yeah, Marco's 2v1 in him. No cap.
Facts.
He's like 6 years old.
He's older.
I don't know, man. 6-year-old Big Mom, man.
Rayleigh versus Oden would
snap. Hey, bro, do you remember what you said the other stream Fiji that I almost kicked you for?
What did I say?
You were like, who do you think is stronger, 6-year-old Big Mom or 8-year-old Shanks? I'm like, bro, why would you even begin to power scale that?
Shanks just seems like a normal kid until like he gets his own crew.
A normal kid with a knife.
I mean, he's of godly presence. He's clearly hiding.
I was really hoping you didn't say that.
No. Shanks is top 1 though. He ain't capping.
It's kind of like Jesus. He like hits 33 and he's like, "Let's go."
Shanks top 5.
So, do you cradle the balls while you're sucking? I want to know.
Yeah, you gotta stretch them out too.
You gay. You gay as hell. You wildin'. I mean, people say they're tired of clashes.
I mean,
some clashes are pretty entertaining. So I don't know if y'all might not agree with me. Do y'all want to see full-on fights for everything, or do clashes in some instances just suffice?
Depends. There just has to be more fights in general.
I feel
clashes are okay if you get substance. We just don't get substance.
Yeah. Okay.
At least that's my opinion. At least.
No, I can rock with that.
According to community, One Piece fights are trash, so clashes are fine.
I mean, mostly they are.
I think it depends if you're an anime guy or not.
Drizzt doesn't even like category fight, so I don't even know what that's
awful fight. Well, Drizzt thinks that everything that comes out in anime is a complete fallacy.
You just can't use that as an argument to defend the
anime.
Most of what comes out in the anime is
I'm trolling you, Drizzt. But I actually follow a lot of what happens in the anime for extended points. I won't use that to say, oh my God, Katagiri used a machine gun in the fight against Luffy, and he's a better sniper than Usopp. Like, I'm not gonna say something stupid like that.
I will.
Did we reach the Kaido vs Luffy fight anime right now?
I think it's coming soon or something like that.
It's next week, so this Sunday chapter will be the Dragon form.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You mean the form that they already? You mean the form they already spoiled in the opening?
Yeah, that's so trash.
I guess it's
they
just
spoiled
it. That's ridiculous by Toei,
They spoiled it in the episode previews.
They do that in like every opening.
It's in the opening. Like Kaido's a dragon in the opening.
Because if I'm not mistaken, they spoiled Gear Second, right?
Yeah, they spoiled Gear Second, but they never spoiled
openings in every anime are literally spoilish as hell. That's what they do. So
yeah, I thought that was like the commonplace.
It happens in every anime.
Fight, you mean that one?
It's a bit annoying.
Watch them make the Luffy vs Kaido fight like 7 minutes long.
Yeah, the thing that people were annoyed was that they spoiled stuff that didn't even happen in the anime manga yet, which was
okay. Now the Kyosho shit.
I can't believe they showed Yasui crucified. That one's kind of funny to me.
They also showed him getting shot too.
Okay, I don't remember that part. They actually did.
It's like a still frame. If you look at it, you can see him getting shot.
You see your bullets?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
They showed Kyoshiro with all the scabbards, so everyone seemed to think Denjiro was Kyoshiro.
They also showed Hiyori.
Did they?
Yeah.
Yeah, they showed Kid Hiyori and with the color of the hair, so it's green. So as soon as you see Kamerasaki, you know.
I mean, we already knew
that.
Like
it's harder to know in the manga because the colorings aren't consistent. Dark just means whatever, and Oda's capped on what dark means in the series before.
I mean, Shanks is the only one with grey hair. So.
Gray hair.
Yeah. His hair's always shaded. No one
Yeah, I
else's
mean,
hair.
and the anime does do really stupid things, like make Batman extremely formidable.
You didn't know that obscure Shanks fact, Drits? Come on.
It's not true.
It's factual.
I'm sorry,
No,
can you repeat that, Eric?
Definitely. I'm going to call cap on that. I don't believe it.
All right.
Yeah, that sounds. I didn't hear what you said entirely, but it sounds like cap. What you say?
You said Shanks is the only character in the entire series that has gray hair. Like that's like inked in, basically.
What?
It's factual.
Why you love Shanks so much that you would really care about such a minute detail like
I'm
that?
just saying that's what it is.
Yeah, that was like one of the things that people were surprised about was the Vince Smoke's reveal. Because Ichiji has red hair, but he drew it as super light. Like, it was like
he drew all of the Vince Smoke kids as non-colored in.
Yeah,
and they all have like hella colored hair.
They're extremely bright.
That's why everyone thought they were blonde. Like
yeah, exactly. That was such a jerk bait.
Cat Curry hair was black in the manga, and then
it was black in the manga.
Yeah,
and like light red.
It became like what, magenta?
Magenta, yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
unreal.
It's actually pretty crazy because like the colors for like the Vince Smokes, there are other characters in the series with similar colored hair and their hairs are dark.
Yeah. That's why everyone was like.
It also depends on composition of the character.
Yeah, I'm pretty new to the anime community, so
not just hair color. It's the big thing.
All this talk of the Vince Smokes is reminding me. Someone told me Cole said Judge top 5. Is that fact?
Oh my god.
That's the main.
I've heard that shit. I've
No,
heard
sir.
Judge top 5.
To be fair, for like King of Lightning, everyone had high hopes for Judge initially. But
Yeah, we thought he was gonna be dope.
Yeah, he started crying, and that's like everyone's like, "Fuck this guy."
And Judge Top 5 just became a large meme in the community.
Yeah, like 0 to 100 of people hating him. I haven't hoped for that.
How you like him on Hero Drits?
But
What's that? What'd you say?
I said, how you
I
like
didn't
him
expect
on
much,
Hero
man. He
Drits?
sounded his dad. I
oh
actually.
yeah, Dritz is going through a My Hero read through, huh?
Did you say how am I liking My Hero?
Yeah.
My Hero's alright. It's the thing for me with My Hero. It's not a series that's particularly for me. I'm not a big fan.
What the fuck?
Okay, I got that. But
My bad.
What I'm gonna say in rebuttal to that is I think My Hero suffers from having a weak protagonist and an even worse rival. I think Deku's pretty boring, and I think Bakugo is very, very annoying to a genuine level, and I think it takes away from the series. The side characters, kind of like how it is with Hunter x Hunter, the side characters heavily carry the series, and I don't think it's even close. Endeavor's, without a doubt, the best character in the series, and then
you my friend, have good taste.
Shoto is a way better character than Deku or Bakugo, and I think the author kind of struggles to make ways for the plot to progress in entertaining and engaging ways, and that's why we have so many like in-betweens in all of the My Hero arcs where it's just these really long, boring training sessions. Because he doesn't know how to properly handle that in an entertaining way because he still wants to keep it that slice of life school vibe, and I think it kind of like comes back to be pretty boring at sometimes.
Yeah, that's like one of the main reasons I don't like it that much. That's holding it back. If he gets rid of that,
it would also be more like it would be more bearable if Bakugo and Deku were interesting characters, but they're really not.
What are you reading the most current arc, Drix?
I read chapters like 195 to 200 to whatever the most recent chapter is today.
Yeah. Apparently, like people were telling me like that the latest chapter is like about villains and shit, and it's pretty good. So like,
it was like My Villain Academia. I heard a lot of things about that. It's not as good as I thought. I thought like the hype for it. I was expecting greatness.
Okay, Dritz, what's your address?
It was okay. I didn't think it was that great.
What's your address?
Who are you talking?
123 Fake Street. No, like it was cool, but I don't know. It just a lot of things in My Hero could just kind of like happen out of the blue because it goes along with like that superhero thing where it's like, oh, boom, and then the villain came out of the blue. I think like the setup for like the My Villain Academia, like it was cool. I just don't think it was amazing. Like, I like Shigaraki through it, but I don't know. It was just all right. I don't think it was amazing.
But
I haven't
it wasn't that long though, which I was grateful for. It was.
What do you think about the whole trope of like the heroes are unworthy, therefore I'm gonna mass murder everyone? What do you think?
The
about
heroes are unworthy. Oh, what from?
Stain?
Are you talking about Stain?
Yeah.
I mean, I understand it. I mean, I think one of the things that My Hero does really, really well is it tackles like the social issues and dynamics that comes with the entire superhero and superpowers aspect. It does that pretty well, actually. The world building for it isn't that great, like in terms of scope of what like the entire world is, but the social dynamic is definitely very, very like evolved, I would say. So in some degrees, it makes up for it. So there are really, really good highs for My Hero because like it does characters pretty well, in my opinion. I would probably like it better because like it's not like I don't like Deku, but it's not like Deku's a bad character. I think compared to a lot of other shonen protagonists, he's probably actually better written than a lot of them. He's just one of those characters that for me he's not very likable, I guess.
Yeah.
Where he starts off a little bit whiny, a little bit of a crybaby. He gets everything kind of handed to him, and like I just work hard, and then boom, I got all of these special abilities that were given to me. He doesn't really have a flaw or anything that really stands out.
And then he becomes Deku, the last quirk bender.
What's that?
Then he becomes the last quirk bender and gets 8.
Yeah, he becomes the last quirk. Well, I heard about the last quirk bender. It wasn't the way it happened. I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm not the biggest fan of it because it kind of feels like it's like the way the powers jumped.
It was explained not that bad.
Villain Academia, like how Deku just like boom.
Deku has more than one quirk now?
Oh wow!
Oh
sorry.
Shit!
Spoiler.
I mean, I don't give a fuck. I dropped it once that horror caused my boy to lose his powers.
That horror.
That's why you like Oden. You like Mirio as well. You love Mirio.
Mirio's the GOAT. Until that horror.
Mirio's alright. I like Mirio. But
are you calling a little girl a whore?
Cause that fucking bitch caused my nigga to lose his powers.
Oh my god!
Man.
Big news.
It wasn't like she was gonna die. She let that hoe die.
Odin is basically Mirio to me. That's
all
the
right. Ladies and gentlemen, we're taking a brief intermission. I have to kick someone.
Yeah, the Deku power was kind of weird, and also the way. I mean, spoiler alerts. Obviously, I'm talking about My Hero.
Yeah.
I don't like the way Shigaraki got like his massive super OD power up. It's just like, ooh, trauma flashback. Boom! Now I'm the strongest person in the universe. I was like, okay, he didn't really earn that at all. He's just kind of giving it to it because he needs to be the bad guy at the end of the series.
Oh, Hemmings.
That's kind of like the thing with a lot of like the superheroes is like they get
like that. Actually, it's perfect that Hemmings is here. He's gonna be having a My Hero discussion pretty soon.
Like, I didn't really like the guy with the hand in his face. I forgot his name. Like, I think you just said it.
Shigaraki. Yeah.
Yeah, but then like I was always like holding out for him to get development alongside Deku to be like a decent villain, but for him to get like an insane power up, like you're saying. That was like a double whammy.
The thing I actually kind of liked about Shigaraki, for me at least, maybe it's not the same for everyone, but for me, I liked how Shigaraki and Deku, like Shigaraki was always stronger than him, but he wasn't like super duper powerful. He wasn't some insane OP
He's had a
villain.
broken quirk.
He's kind of like Blackbeard is to like how Luffy, Luffy's going stronger over time. Shigaraki's like becoming that guy, but he kind of got it all at once.
Yeah, that's bad.
It just kind of felt like it feels like My Hero might.
Well, you wouldn't say that when Blackbeard got the Gura no Mi, he didn't get it all at once.
What's that?
When he got the Gura, he got it all at once.
Yeah, it's just like a traumatic flashback. Like he goes from being like contendable, like where he could fight other villains and like he wins, but now he's just like super OD. And
yeah,
I was just like I kind of would have liked him to have earned it a bit better. It's like they took hockey blooming to the extreme with that.
Hello,
his hockey bloomed in combat.
Is My Hero towards his end game?
It kind of feels like it's setting up for that. It's not there yet. It kind of feels like it might be setting up for it though.
There's a final war incoming, but
how much stronger can they possibly get?
Well, Deku has like too many spoilers. I'm good.
What Deku has to get stronger for Shigaraki, but Shigaraki's like he's going to get he's going to become a butterfly soon, right? So like. He'll be like ridiculous by then. It kind of feels like it's going into the game.
I dropped My Hero like end of season 2 because I felt like the scope was already kept out.
I don't think so. But guys, I actually want to have a My Hero discussion in the coming days, so I don't really want to go too into it right now. But I want to talk about.
There was an issue with
go ahead, Eric. Go ahead.
Do you feel like there was an issue with like having All Might straight at the front, seeing like giving you the cap of the series from day one?
No, actually, to be honest,
that was
the
great.
way he handled, for the most part, for the way he handled the quirks, I actually think they're pretty well done. To be honest, I didn't really have a problem with that. It's just like as I said, I think Horikoshi has problems building up to that point with his characters in an entertaining manner. It was entertaining with Shigaraki. It just kind of went from 0 to 100 real quick because of he was like holding back I guess the entire time, which is like whatever. It's a little corny, but whatever. With Deku, it just seems forced because Deku needs to be that guy. But it's still a good series. It just depends what you like.
No, I dig it. I do want to stop right here and segue. I know Dritz and Hemmings, you guys were in the last top 30 because people are messaging me talking about it. And Eric, I don't know, you might be in the next one. I don't know if you've talked to Brizzy or not.
Was Hemmings the last top 30?
He was.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
I think he left early as well.
No, he didn't. Hemmings got very drunk, as did I.
Huh, I actually do not remember Hemmings.
I was there to the end, and Brago reconnected me with somebody I haven't spoken to in like 6 years.
I know, that's so cool if you said that, bro.
They heard me in that stream. Actually, technically it was tied. There's some amount of tied. Like
they knew, yeah, that's so sick.
And one person, when they saw my name and from my license, they're like, "Were you on Brago's stream before?"
Oh yeah, okay, I remember that story. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was there.
That's super cool, dude. Are you still talking to them, or is it still chill?
Am I what?
Do you still converse with them?
Oh yeah. I mean, we were playing Smash for a while, but then I stopped playing. But I saw him in September.
Bet. You so tired, man.
I am tired.
Well, I'm glad you came through, though, man. My brother.
Congratulations on 800.
Thank you, G. Congratulations on 1.3K.
Well, actually, I'm almost at 1500. I'm 10 away.
Fucking beast.
Nice.
So, congrats.
I cannot believe at one point we were neck and neck and you became a beast.
Nah, but you guys grow like crazy. I've never jumped 100 or something in a day. I get 1 or 2 a day. I've never gotten.
Oh, that comment is reflected towards Trent and fucking Townsy. They are
no, Trent, Townsy, and Jay.
They're on subscriber steroids.
Yeah, they're going crazy.
Eric jumped exponentially as well.
Kinda.
There's no kind of, dude. You're almost 3K.
Yeah, I guess. It's been
the most.
Eric, I was in front of you at one point.
Was the day I think I remember me and Fruber were in the Grove.
Yeah.
That day I got 16-1 after that stream aired. That's the most I've ever gotten in one day.
Just been spitting some facts.
It's pretty good. Truth is losing subs.
I always lose subs just because I'll make a video talking about stuff that isn't the quality of the writing, and then people are like, "Oh, this guy's awesome," and then I'll make a review and "Fuck this guy," and then they'll unsubscribe. But I got from that Mihawk video that got 265,000 views. I got 1,500 subscribers from it.
Yeah, dude, you blew. I was gonna bring it up. You blew up after that Mihawk video. You need to put out some more shit like that because that shit was long. It was quality, and I could tell you actually put a lot of work into that.
Oh yeah, but that was my passion project.
It was fire.
Love the Godhawk.
Talking about the fraud hawk.
Listen, I'm gonna keep it a buck. My fellow content creators, I watch some of y'all videos sometimes. I don't watch all y'all shit because I'm a human being and there's only so much time in the day.
Of course.
I actually watched that entire video, Drips.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of people really liked it. Even Braga messaged me, and it's that's probably your best video.
It's a good video. And Naya, you're one of the few people I do as well. Obviously, not this shit. It's not my realm.
Makes that video look like shit.
No.
But guess what? Even if I don't watch the whole video, I'm always gonna drop a like because y'all my brothers.
You gotta drop the like.
Always.
I just had respect.
What the fuck is SP0 and ZP0?
Here we
Let's
go.
not get into this, please.
Here we go.
SP0 is Sanji's Pole Riders 0. Trying to be like Cypher Pole, and they have a whole Sanji faction, and Zoro is basically the same thing.
Right. So it's just dumb shit.
I think it's completely remedial. I hate them both.
It was funny for 2 hours.
Oh, you gave it that long, Hemmings?
Huh?
Funny for 2
You
hours.
gave it that long, my guy?
Am I doing what?
I said I didn't know you gave it that long.
Oh yeah, for 2 hours it was funny, and then by then there was 85 edits. I'm like, all right, you guys need to just go outside now.
Hey, those edits
They
are
told
funny,
niggas to
man.
go outside, bro. Hey, what's up, Roanoa Ty?
Man's name is Ronald Tai, and he's got the Sanji Ivy.
What's up, G?
Yeah,
I
hold
just
on.
like the picture to be on, just Fiji water.
Wait, G, why you got a Sanji, have you found?
The picture is gas.
Nigga, your name is Rowan Otai.
I'll change it eventually.
No, that's whatever, bro.
No, it's fine, man. It's fine, man. It's not like there's a consensus. You can be a fan of both of them.
ACB said, but
embarrassing.
SP0 funded my wallet. ZP0 can't compare.
Nah, there's so many flaws with Sanji. It's not even funny. I'm not ignorant.
Let's not get to it. Let's not get down
don't
to this,
do
man.
it. Don't trigger somebody in this chat.
Love Sanji. What do you mean?
What you mean?
Sanji is absolute trash, but let's not get into it.
Oh no!
I mean, there's a lot of people in here currently that aren't real Sanji supporters, so it would,
Bro,
like this
honestly,
conversation won't really go anywhere.
Yeah, just leave me out of this. I don't care.
And yeah, and
I don't care either.
I'm kind of with Naya
I
on
don't
that
know.
one.
I'll speak about this too much.
Yeah,
yo,
there's
Hemmings
plenty of
though.
stuff to talk about that's not about this nonsense.
Something we need
This
to talk
run-on
about.
too.
Ty, I'm gonna ask you next, but Hemmings, how you like the chapter, Munchie?
I had fun, but it doesn't change how I don't like how we got here. But I had fun.
Wait,
I
please,
can't be
hey, you
mad
gotta
at, like,
explain
I just
that
can't
shit,
do it. I
Munchie.
couldn't be upset. There was this white beard in all of my panels. I just couldn't be upset.
Well, I'm saying, like, what you mean, like, you ain't like how we got here, though?
Uh,
You ain't like how we got here, like, what you mean by that?
with and how Oden has been like, you know, how he's been written in terms of he's just the coolest, greatest Chad samurai of all time. I'm still not a fan of how Oden has been handled.
I don't know. I kind of dig it.
It was fun seeing him, you know, be excited about the world and writing in his diary. I'm not upset at the chapter. It was wholesome.
It was wholesome.
And I liked the Izzo stuff, like how I won't forgive you, and I'm like, that's cap. You're one of the commanders.
What, Izzo? Yeah. Okay, obviously it's Cap in hindsight, Hemmings.
I know, but like when I read it, that's the first thing that came to mind. I'm like, that's Cap. So that's all. I feel like there's something specific I'm forgetting that I really like, but yeah, I mean, he definitely showed me way more than I expected. I'll give you that. Maybe I don't know if my expectations were just really low for what was going to happen with the voyage. I just ended up enjoying it more than I thought. But I damn near expected him to just, and then we went on a journey, and I came back to one.
Oh, that's petty.
I swear to God, I thought he was going to do some shit like that.
Well, I'm glad they're not as underwhelming as your thoughts.
Yo,
what's up, Eric?
About, like, current day one.
Shout out to the 70 folks watching, though, by the way.
Damn, just get it. Talking about current day 1, do you guys think the Fire Festival will end in failure?
I'm sorry?
I think there will be a round 3. Do you think the Fire Festival will end in failure, or do you think that's it? This is the end. This is the end of Wano.
No, it wouldn't be. It's going to be at least 5 acts. That is obviously.
Yeah, but now, what I mean by that, do you think the Fire Festival is like the end of? You feel like there's going to be another? Basically, this is the day, the promised day. 20 years they've been waiting for this day.
I think it's going to be the climax.
He's asking if there's going to be another fight after the Fire Festival where they fail in the Fire Festival. And like,
I'm sure.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, I'm sure there will.
You think there will be?
There won't be.
Why?
I don't believe there's going to be a fight. I think it's
it's going to be a war that will ebb and flow throughout the night, and then Luffy will win by the dawn.
You think it's only going to last a few hours?
Yeah, I disagree with that.
When Luffy versus Luffy versus Katakuri lasted 10 hours, and this is only going to last a couple hours.
They're not going to disengage and then re-engage.
Isn't that what war is?
I feel like it's possible, bro. I don't know how it would happen.
How many times does the narrator have to say this is the final battle?
How many times do the writers have to be wrong, my nigga?
No, the narrator is never incorrect.
My bad. I'm thinking editors, not writers.
It's called the.
And actually, the writer actually is sometimes incorrect because the writer is sometimes incorrect because he literally said we don't know how they're going to be Kaido. Obviously, they're going to be Kaido.
No, but
listen,
what? If the narrator is incorrect, then everything the narrator says can't be trusted. So
no, if the writer is incorrect at a time, but that's why we have a word called retcons.
Yeah, but it's assumed that the narrator knows everything about the story because he's the
writer. That's not true that the writer does not know everything about the story.
Niggas been sleeping on the Brook is the
narrator. Not every writer has a notion of how they want their ending to be, but it's not solidified. Hold on. Every writer has a notion of how they want their ending to go, but it's not going to be solidified.
Vergo, I'm saying the writer, not runner.
He's talking about basically the
Oda boxes where it's like these warriors will end up in the greatest battle of history and shit. Those boxes.
Like after Ace and Blackbeard, yeah, this would be the trigger for the greatest war to come. Blah blah blah. That basically that dude.
I get that. Now the narrator, you mean?
Yeah,
the narrator. Yeah. But the narrator is the writer technically, so I get what Vergo's trying to say. Because
well, the writer technically is a character.
Yeah, he is technically. I get what you mean,
God
but
damn
all the characters
guys.
are written. So
He's not a writer, I guess, but
yes, I get it. That was the trigger for the greatest war to ever come, and we also have another greatest war to ever come.
If the narrator is incorrect, then you can't trust it when he says something.
Okay,
Yes,
I
we
remember what I was
also-
to say now. Okay,
we
remember
also-
when Whitebeard's like,
Go ahead.
we can't take Oden because taking like royalty from from an island is like bad. You get in trouble. Why would he get in trouble? Wano's not allied with the world government, first of all, so that has nothing to do with them. They can't be like, Marines, help us. Like that's what I'm saying. They're isolationist countries, xenophobic. They do their own thing. And what were they gonna do? They have limited resources there. So like, I didn't understand why he was all like, we get in trouble for taking royalty from. He's a fucking pirate swag. We don't care about that shit.
Yeah, nah, I don't. I think it's literally just unexplained.
I didn't take it that way. Well, that's why I asked the question. Like, how I guess that's how you took it. I was just wondering why.
Nigga a daimyo?
To me, that was weird. I was like, why? That wouldn't matter. Like, any other island, sure, but like, Wano's the one island where it's like that wouldn't really matter.
True.
In my opinion, at least.
The part that goes along with that I liked is that Whitebeard didn't want another conqueror or people like that on his crew.
I like that a lot, actually. I'm
I'm
glad you touched on that point.
Yeah, I just
I
got
fuck
done
with that
dealing
heavy.
with this
Like,
shit.
listen,
I don't want
bro,
to do it again.
I did this before. I'm not going down this road again. Cause like, listen, I know when a whole bunch of conqueror ass motherfuckers get together, it didn't end well. Something called God Valley. Something called the Hero Garp.
Oh no.
As far as
Now, what he says, the Japanese translation could be
Oh
a
my
bit
God,
wrong though with
Fiji,
this because it's
Fiji.
controversial. Yo, what's wrong?
I feel you, but you definitely cut someone off.
Alright.
Somalians, man.
But you know what? Go ahead.
As far as the final battle is concerned, do you think it should last a few days, considering it's Kaido, and it would have made sense for them to take down Kaido within a few hours?
I would say so because the stakes are much higher.
Well, Zoro's killing Kaido, so all it takes is one cut.
All right, let me kick you real quick
I'm capping, man.
because you're clearly wilding.
He's not capping.
You are capping
I do
crunch,
not
bro.
think Zoro's killing Kaido, but there is so much in place
Bro,
that just makes
you
you
are
want
straight
to
up
think
Colin Kaepernick, dog. You wilding.
I mean, Zoro's gonna do something on Kaido. Kill Kaido.
I don't think.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I don't think anyone from the Alliance is killing Kaido.
Kaido's not gonna die. So
then who's
I
killing
feel like
Kaido?
he'll die. I feel like he's gonna die, but not by the hands.
why do people think the Emperor's gonna die for?
I don't even know if he's gonna die. Exactly, Eric. I don't even know if he's gonna die.
But Kaido kind of. I'm not gonna say it has
Like
to.
you look at Oda's style. He loves using characters that
They wouldn't even
Why
fucking
you
kill the mountain god, bro.
Not to live, bro.
because they don't have to die.
You just don't want Shanks to die. That's literally it.
Oh, Shanks is gonna die.
Shanks isn't gonna
And
die.
I literally, oh my
You're just
god.
going against what like this narrative is telling you, just so like Shanks
Oh my
doesn't
god,
have to
Dritz.
live.
Dritz.
I
Hey, Eric, let me spin this to
against
you.
the narrative time.
I have
nonsense.
the most
That he
iconic
was
way
treated
for
correct.
Shanks to die. Hey, Eric, let me burst your bubble and tell you how Shanks is going to die. I've been mapping this up for a while. Shanks is going to die. He's going to fight Blackbeard. Shanks is actually going to be winning, and Von Argo's going to shoot that bastard in the back, and Shu's going to invisibly cut that bastard's neck off.
I don't think the Emperor's gonna die because I'm assuming I'm assuming he's gonna use all of them in the final war.
Why?
Why?
Why are you assuming that?
Because it's supposed to be the climax of the entire story.
Yeah, but why do
Why do
all
they have
four
to be
emperors
involved?
need to be in the final order? Why does that?
Why does the Emperor need to be there for the?
Because they're the most powerful characters. It's anticlimactic if they.
But by the end of the series, all of those powerful characters will be weaker by the new powerful characters.
Yeah. If you believe at the end of the story that the Yonkos are going to stay, it's impossible.
Or by taking down those powerful characters, you become the new powerful character.
Right. Yeah, but who are the new?
So why do they need to be there?
I already told you.
I don't agree with that.
I don't think that the emperors are going to be surpassed by many people by the time we get to the final.
Yeah, but there will be new people of those levels.
So you think Luffy's going to become Pirate King without being the strongest?
If you have an overabundance of them, then you literally it's literally crazy. They're too powerful to keep alive in the series.
Yeah, you have the 4 strongest pirates still around story end.
Doesn't make sense to me. Luffy should be Pirate King by the time they go up against world government. If that happens, Zoro probably will have beat Mihawk, who I believe is Yonko level. So you have 2 Yonko level people on Luffy's crew. Yeah. Kid should be a Yonko by then, being that powerful. We don't need all of them. It doesn't make any sense.
I was rocking with that. I was rocking with everything but Kid.
I mean, the Kid one's believable.
That's not definitive, but
I
feel
hope Kid does.
An over rival, he should be up there.
I hope Kid does.
That just seems too linear for One Piece standards.
How is that linear, Fiji?
That's like the most obvious.
I don't think they're going to replace emperors in that. I don't think there's anything after the emperors in terms of the system.
No, I'm not saying literally replace the system.
The system will no longer come into fruition. There will be no system.
Finish what you were saying, Eric.
I'm not saying literally take their title. I'm saying like take their position in the story as like powerful characters.
You don't think there's going to be people like them in the series at the end of the story?
I think there will be.
I mean, at the end when the story's over, but not like.
Why? What makes you say that?
Because I don't see it possible for.
How do you not?
I mean, Eric,
what's happening already in the story? How is it not possible?
That's literally the point of Oden keeping the worst generation.
We already
is for them
see that a lot of other characters are being set up to just get powerful off screen without doing anything. Luffy's going to be like the only person that really does anything to get powerful.
Hold on, just may I interject real quick. The reason why Oda said he didn't know, like he put the worst generation in there, basically supernovas. He didn't know what he was going to do with them. The reason why he kept them going is for them to take on the throne.
What?
Yeah, I'm saying the reason why the worst generation was put in there was for them to like succeed those Yonko.
I don't think most of them. I think were just cameos. I think only a select couple were supposed to ever matter.
No, at first they weren't even supposed to be part of the story. Period. But I'm saying that the reason why they have stayed is because for that reason.
Well, no, the only one that was supposed to have mattered from the beginning was Kid, and then Oda saw how popular they were. And then he made them all matter.
But I'm saying that's why they're trucking.
Yeah, like Law.
Yeah, Laws was interesting. Nah, Law. Come on, Law showed up at Marineford. I feel like Law was like a part of the plan from the beginning.
He wasn't. Oda even said he wasn't.
I never knew that.
He wasn't supposed to be a part of it.
Literally.
Yes, he did. We do know that because Sabaody was before Marineford.
The only person that was really supposed to matter. This is like me summarizing. Was Kid. Everyone else, more than half of the superheroes, was supposed to have been defeated in the New World. So they would have died.
Yeah, Law was after Sabaody, which means after Oda had said what he said.
Yeah, so because Law was popular literally right from the get-go. Once he realized how popular
he's a ridiculous power, and they were like, "Ooh, we like him."
Yeah, he made a role for him in the story.
You guys think Luffy has to surpass everyone and be the strongest in the series?
He'll be one of the strongest. He doesn't have to be the strongest because I think whoever Luffy beats at the end of the story is probably going to be stronger than him.
So Blackbeard.
I think he beats whoever the emu equivalent. If it's Blackbeard, if it's emu themselves, they'll be stronger than Luffy. Luffy will just win because of That's how like a lot of shows go. The end villain, the end protagonist is not actually stronger than the person they're beating. They just end up winning.
Yeah,
it happens a lot.
Hopefully. Yeah, but usually it's plausible. Like with the Fullmetal Alchemist ending.
That was like literally everyone versus him.
Yeah.
I don't expect the final villain to go down in a 1v1. I think it's gonna be like a team effort essentially. Whoever that is that teams up against them, I don't think it's gonna be Luffy versus just them.
How powerful is this man?
Well, I mean, he's probably ridiculously powerful. Whoever it is, I mean, if it's Blackbeard, it's Blackbeard. The same problem still occurs because, like, theoretically, Blackbeard's gonna be OP as well. So whatever it ends up being, it doesn't have to be Emu. It just seems like Emu is going to be the person.
With Kaido's Delver, yeah, Druids.
whatever it is, it could be Marco's, whatever his plan is, because we know he has another part of his plan. Whatever that is to make him stronger. If it's getting another devil fruit, it's getting another devil fruit. If it's getting something else, it is. He'll get stronger. He'll reach like that final form soonish.
In 956, when he said, "Come, let's go get it," I don't know what he said exactly in the viz, but when he said that shit in 956, what do you guys think he's talking about?
We let the government get it or whatever.
Yeah.
I forget what it was, but I think in the official translations, it was implied to be like not a person, but like an object. It was an it.
Yeah,
so.
let me open up the viz real quick.
I think let me open the viz real quick, like. Let me go get my facts.
Back to the original point real quick for the person who said they don't think the Yonko are dying. So you think all that talk about Kaido wanting to die and can't dying was just for gas up purposes?
I'm just looking at what Oda does with characters, and he likes to reuse them in later things.
He reused Whitebeard in a flashback. Whitebeard died at Marineford. If you're going to create something that's going to be as impactful as Marineford, you have to have these strong characters die.
Correct.
They can't just live
Which is what happened with Ace and Whitebeard.
And the entire Yonka system was originally designed just to be obstacles for Luffy to defeat. You can't just keep them in place so they can be allies.
Yeah,
because
we're getting rid of we're getting rid of the Shishibu guy. So why keep Yonko later in the story?
He's been used as another character to set up different things.
What you mean?
Doflamingo wasn't killed. He's still in prison commenting on.
Yeah, he's not a Yonko.
He is also no longer a warlord.
I don't know why the position matters.
So the viz says
the position matters because listen, the Yonko. The reason the Yonko matter, if they were just warlord level and strength, then they could be allies, because that's what all of the other enemies in the series are going to end up being by the end of this final war. They're going to be allies. So them being on the side helps, but whenever you get so strong that literally just you have to make up a bunch of bullshit for the fight to be climactic and not just a one-sided wash. You can't have 9 Yonko level people on the ally side and then just create a balance for that somehow on the opposite side. It's impossible. You would literally have to do some Naruto shit.
Hey nigga, don't go there.
Reanimation jutsu and shit.
Yeah, because if all of the Yonko were alive at the end of the series, then you have 4 Yonko plus Luffy, who's going to be stronger than all of those Yonko, plus whoever else is alive. Low balling it, 3 other Yonko, so you have a total of 7 Yonko level people. Plus
Dragon, who people think is Yonko level,
versus the world government. There's no room for balance there. You can't create it. You have to artificially inflate things.
Kind of fact.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
For power scaling sake and for narrative sake, it has to be a way.
Yeah.
So the viz says if the Navy's only going to take it, I might as well claim the prize. So.
What's about Blackbeard?
Yeah.
What
is he talking about?
You don't know exactly what they're talking about.
Nah, it's odd. It can be a lot of things.
It's ambiguous,
yeah.
Yeah.
Because I initially thought he was talking about Whole Cake Island and Big Mouth Poneglyph, but that doesn't make sense to fit in the context.
It's got to be an ancient weapon, in my opinion.
Alabaster.
The ideas were Pluton / Marimara, whatever. Those were the mainstream ideas.
Correct. Do you have something non-mainstream?
Well, the Marimara no Mi was the red herring, I think.
You said the red herring?
That's what they wanted you to believe with that.
The red herring?
Cut. Yeah, I don't think he's even dead. But
because he went after that originally.
Well, that's what the mainstream theory.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying to me that's a red herring.
Yeah, for sure.
That's the obvious, the Marimara no Mi, but
the Pluton one is what a lot of people want it to be. So they want Blackbeard to get that swag.
He doesn't deserve it. Give it to Crocodile.
Okay, so Blackbeard is going to Alabasta and then pulling up to Wano with Pluton. Let's get it. And his body and Kaido and taking it. Come on, man. Master planner.
My personal... Go ahead.
No, go on, bro.
My personal opinion on Blackbeard and the third fruit, I don't think if he gets one, it's going to be Kaido's fruit. I feel like it will be Marco's fruit. So all 3 of his fruits will be from Whitebeard's crew.
Yeah, that's a pretty common theory too. It can make sense, yeah.
I didn't actually think about that. I always thought he was going to get the Marco's fruit, but I never actually tied it into being all 3 from that crew.
Yeah, it's like the ultimate betrayal, essentially.
That would be lit.
That's good.
And also,
that would be really good writing.
It helps him with the Yami Yami no Mi's weakness too, because double
The
damage.
double damage.
Heal it up there.
The reason why people thought it would make the most sense for Kaido's because they thought that Kaido's was the most powerful because he has the strongest Logia's strongest paramecia. That you complete it, get the strongest Zoan. So.
Yeah, that makes sense too. But I feel like getting Marcos would be far more symbolic.
Yeah, it would be more symbolic, but people were just going along with like the strong idea because it's like if he had scales as well, and he was basically Kaido with like the dragon fruit, that also helps. But Marco's fruit has more synergy with what he's looking for.
Yeah.
Of course, people have had their gripes with that because it's like he would literally look retarded as a phoenix and or dragon. Because like his character design isn't fit to like look cool like that, but I'm sure Oden can circumvent that somehow.
Darkness and Koi looks epic. I don't know.
Well, those aren't aesthetic changes; those are just powers.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. That's why
people were like the Zoan fruit would be like a weird thing because like you have a fat ass phoenix and then a fat ass dragon. People.
I'm here for it.
All I heard was a fat ass.
With a gut. Oh my god!
Wait a minute.
Give me that. It's raw.
A dragon with missing teeth? Oh no!
Missing teeth, beard, and a gut? Are you guys crazy?
That shit is mid.
That's fire.
Stop it.
That's fire.
Stop it.
We accept all body types for dragons.
Stop it. Yo, Hemmings is going crazy. Not Hemmings, I mean Snickers.
Yeah, Snickers, she was not happy that she's not annoying me right now, so she had to try and meow. She'll be back.
What a cute little babe.
She doesn't leave me alone.
Also, as far as Kyle's concerned, this isn't from me. This is from my homeboy Beckman on Twitter. Also, he kind of convinced me. I don't believe Kaido has a dragon devil fruit. I believe Kaido is a dragon himself. Like that's just
okay. I like this idea. Whenever it seemed a bit more plausible, why do you think it still fits now?
To be referred to as a thing by Big Mom, he's the world's strongest creature, not the world's strongest man. I think it would make perfect sense for him to be a dragon. Also, in ancient Japanese mythology, dragons were able to shapeshift into humans. So maybe that's why he has that human form. And if anything, animals are able to eat devil fruits. If anything, if he does have a devil fruit, I believe he would be a dragon that ate an oni fruit, so he could turn into a human if that's what it was. If he
the oni fruit is interesting too, because Chopper's fruit is human fruit, model human.
And then, go ahead.
No, I was just saying. I was just adding something.
Yeah. And then on top of that, that's the only fruit is a maybe. But the problem with that is, if he wanted to kill himself, and he had a devil fruit, why wouldn't he just jump into the sea? That's also a huge problem with that.
Yeah, it also brings up the whole term of land, sea, or air bet on Kaido.
Yeah.
Like if you're a devil fruit user, what the fuck is sea? You're done.
That's the part I always found.
You're done.
Exactly what I was.
So I want to know. I want to know if there's more to that saying.
Straight up.
Like, why? How is if he's devil fruit user and he throw him in the sea, he's done, right? So it's like, let's see how that works.
Like, there's so many.
How do you explain his powers without a devil fruit then, in his dragon form?
What do you mean? The dragon fire breathing?
The dragon form for his powers. Like that's not like something we've ever seen before without a devil fruit ability to explain it.
Well,
Driss, we confirmed how he flies.
Well, Driss, we had a conversation about this.
Without a devil fruit.
Well, Driss, we had a conversation about this, like about it came from Onimaru when we were talking about that. And we were talking about how
no, you didn't.
There really wasn't a mythical aspect. Not today, motherfucker. It was a mythical aspect.
I was just talking shit. I don't know. I don't even know what that is.
The mythical aspect in One Piece really isn't prevalent. And so like for him to just be a dragon and we really don't have that many mythical creatures, really doesn't make any sense, right? But I feel like in this, I don't know, I feel like we might actually start getting it in Wano, where we have like all these crazy ancient creatures. We had that weird baboon, we had that weird, whatever the name it was, the baboon.
Yeah, but none of them have mythical powers.
Not. What do you mean we're talking about the shape-shifting?
To explain everything, though.
The fox got a devil fruit?
Yes.
Probably.
No. Driss thinks he's a devil fruit user.
It's not confirmed.
He thinks he's a devil fruit user opposed to being a kitsune.
There's no real magic outside of the systems that have already been set up.
Yeah, so you have to explain everything by how the magic
Pandora's box.
Isn't the only like kind of power we've ever seen that just kind of just worked with the color trap stuff?
What trap?
Color traps by what's her name?
Oh yeah, the girl. Yeah.
Isn't that the only thing we ever seen? Like that wasn't even devil fruit. Just like she could just do this.
It's kind of like the hypnosis stuff.
Yeah.
And I guess I suppose if you don't think that Hawkins' predictions or card stuff is connected to his Wada no Mi, I don't know.
I don't think it is either. I feel like it's an outside source.
Yeah.
Even you see Miss Golden Week, her ability wasn't a devil fruit either.
He's a magician.
Correct. So how do we explain Miss Golden Week?
Didn't I just say that?
Oh,
I'm agreeing with it, nigga.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, he could have been a fortune teller before he gets devil fruit, and that doesn't necessarily mean it's magic. He just
and everybody wants to like say that Madame Charlie's like precognition is from observation hockey, which I don't agree with.
Why not?
I just feel like there are outside sources that are magical, so to speak.
But how do you fit that? But that means you're warping your magic system.
How so?
Because everything in One Piece so far has been explained in some way, shape, or form between devil fruits and/or hockey.
Charlie hasn't, and neither has Golden Week.
Yeah, but Golden Week isn't like magic. That's like
what
psychological manipulation.
Is it
That's
though?
magic, bro.
I don't think so, man.
That's not solidified either, Driss. I don't know if it actually is.
But like, it's not. I don't know, dude. Like
that's not solidified.
For me, if you want to choose like those, okay, I'll agree on the ambiguity of them. To be honest,
it's very ambiguous.
It's different from comparing that to literally Kaido being like a large mythical creature that's actually a mythical creature with mythical powers.
I know. That's why I was talking about Onimaru being a possible kitsune. When we already know there's a kitsune fruit with Katarina Devon.
Instances of like other characters like that, like Chopper eating devil fruits to explain those powers.
Yeah, that makes sense.
There's no
but
reason
hold on,
to
Driss.
assume that he's an actual...
Driss. But like I said, we already have Katarina Devon, who is a kitsune. But then we have Onimaru. Do you understand what I'm saying? They can't be two kitsune.
No, she's a nine-tailed fox.
I thought it was like model kitsune.
Like she's like literally like a nine-tailed fox. So there are different models for it.
Okay, all right, I'll give you that. But at the same time, it could very well go either way, in my opinion.
I mean, for me, honestly, I like fantasy ideas. It's just hard for me to like kind of like put that into context of what else is going on.
I feel that.
Well, it's just dangerous because like we're 900 and something chapters deep. You're gonna add a new element of like.
Yeah, and I feel like that's a bit unfair to the element of writing.
I don't know, dude. I would really like it if Kaido was actually a dragon because I just love dragons and shit like that. So that would be like hype for me. And
he's supposed to be an Eastern, right? Eastern dragon, if I'm not mistaken.
No, man. One Piece is just One Piece is wacky though. So honestly, none of that stuff would shock me.
Yeah, I don't think it'd be too crazy.
My thinking on it is that, like how Akiyuna, the fleet admiral, is like we don't know the strength of the samurai and stuff, so they don't really know much about that country and it's isolated off. I think like if something was like that was to be prevalent or like be existing, it would be in some place like Wano where nobody really knows shit about the place. And to have someone that strong having something like that, it would have to be Yonko.
But you know, it's it's funny. Things that I think that like could be mythical have ended up being not, because I thought that like, you know, Kappa's in Wano, but he's truly a fisherman. For,
right, yeah, so it actually fit into the mythos.
Oh yeah, for sure. I could definitely.
That was obvious.
It was just a guess from a
friend. It was like a random, like I was just throwing it out there, you know. But it's just funny.
Yeah,
like,
we'll see. I mean,
I feel you like
the
things
dragon theory.
It can and possibly will end up being explained, but you know, a guy can dream.
Yeah, I mean, it hasn't been disproven yet, which is the important thing. So. Yeah, I mean, it's a cool thing to think about.
I at this point, I just think it's the fruit, but I mean, I don't think anything, but one thing that I'm really interested in understanding is like the whole thing is he's strongest in land, air, sea. Like, can he fight under? Is he raw underwater? Like, I just want to.
He raw. What's up, Ty?
The way I kind of interpreted that to fit into like the idea.
We got two ties on stream, y'all.
Is that like he's strongest on the sea because he can fly, like on the sea, so he can do sea combat as well. But it's kind of like, you know, that's still in the air.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. You know, I feel like he has to like be an underwater. I feel like he has to be an underwater foe.
The quote isn't in sea; it's on sea.
Yeah.
I guess the thing about that kind of gave me hope is I kind of really like way back when I think if I remember correctly, because I don't know, I'm old, but I think when we kind of first learned about Zeph's diary or whatever, there was maybe not around there, but at some point we had learned that for some people, the Grand Line was seen as a paradise, right? And then we kind of that kind of sentence was like the broken telephone. We kind of learned that really what the whole thing was in comparison to the New World. The Grand Line half was like paradise because the New World was so crazy.
Because the New World was so rigorous.
Yeah. So when he said that like the land or sea thing, I kind of thought maybe it was something similar to that. There's something he can do to kind of, even if he had devil fruit or he can fight underwater. I don't know. That's just my headcanon, but I kind of held out hope for that.
Yeah, I mean, I would actually prefer it, like, if there was, like, something just super duper awesome about Kaido if he was a dragon. If his devil fruit actually just allows him to, like, breathe underwater or something like that.
Yeah.
Like,
hopefully we'll find out soon.
I personally like this theory because it kind of opened up something like a personal one for me. I kind of wanted, like, Dragon, like, Luffy's dad to have the devil fruit that we, like, people think Kaido have. And I think that would open that up because there would be there is no duplicate of a devil fruit. So if Kaido has it, Dragon can't have it. So I think that opens that up, and that's kind of a personal one for me as well.
I can see that. I just kind of like with the Kaido stuff. I just kind of assume the dragon would have like the wind fruit, whatever.
Yeah, the wind Logia.
Yeah, wind Logia, whatever Oda wants to make that. I thought the dragon would have that.
Rocking with that theory.
The wind Paramecia, he just blows really hard.
I can see Oda doing that.
Just waves like a fan
on his hands or something.
Like waves like a fan, like really fast.
Yeah. Flaps his
wings
to
like
the
fucking
sky.
like One Piece Tamari.
He's Superman. His super breath.
I kind of wanted him to be able to control like all weather, and that would kind of make sense how the lightning perfectly struck where Luffy was and all that other kind of stuff.
The Mother Nature fruit.
I don't know what the fuck it's gonna be called.
The Brother Nature fruit.
The
brother nature. He might have a different version of the dragon fruit because Kaido's an Eastern dragon. Dragon might be like a Western dragon where he looks more like what we're used to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen that shit on Library of Ohara?
I'm sorry.
What's it?
Have
what
you
shit?
seen the whole
Library of
magazine?
Ohara? Archer?
Nah, I haven't muted. What happened?
Well, you have Archer muted?
Now this is old. This is old as fuck.
Yeah.
Why?
Because it takes 2 hours to read the chapter.
He's doing too much.
There's
certain things I just don't want. There's certain things I just don't want to see. He's just doing too much. There's nothing against him. He does good work.
You got it, bro.
Okay, wait. Let me see if I can.
Like if I want to see something personally, I'll just go to his site. I don't go to his Twitter.
I bet.
Because sometimes I just don't want to see. Well, the editor said this. I just don't want to hear.
He's like, your point.
I just don't.
I dropped a link in the fucking Hangouts messages, and that's.
I can't read. I can't click links, so I can't read.
Yeah, I just see that someone just dropped that.
That's what everyone's using to say that.
Storm fruit sounds asinine.
My thing with Archer is like he be taking so long to read the chapter on Twitter. Like I had to meet him. He does great work, but like if you look at he starts reading a chapter and tweets about it, and to when he finishes, it's like a smooth hour and 15 minutes.
He does.
Hey, you know what?
He does all the work about certain things that I don't want to do. So.
And here's where me and Naya agree.
All Big Mom's kids. I'll never do that. Never.
Here's where me and Naya agree. I have a love-hate relationship with Archer. I love it finding out that them niggas like apples and cherry pie and all that shit. What I hate figuring out is that Sengoku has Conqueror's Haki. Show me in the story.
That's him just translating the viewer card.
Nah,
that's the viewer card's fault. And they stink. Viewer cards whack.
That's the only time it makes me upset. I like viewer cards. Other than that,
I hope I never see another viewer card again in my life.
Ben Beckman's Viva card has caused me so much hell on Twitter.
They gonna tell me,
don't start, my G.
They gonna tell me confirm Sabo has Armor Hockey. I saw him use it. What is good with this thing?
I'm telling you, on Twitter, them Beckman fans, as soon as they heard the Beckman is comparable to his captain, they started running.
It's not even what
Mihawk ones.
The Sun and the Moon.
Like
first of all, they are. That's why I put the little hot take tweet.
The Mihawk, the Viva card literally made Mihawk sound like he is top one.
He is, dude.
All right. You have Dritz here. You should have known he was going to say that.
No. Mihawk's stronger than Shanks. Where's
Yes.
Eric when you need him? Fuck, you know.
I'm sorry, his name is actually Godhawk.
If I fight with a scythe and not beat Mihawk, what happens? What do I get?
You're a loser.
What do I become?
You're a fucking loser.
Unless Shanks has another fighting style, Mihawk is stronger than Shanks. That's
Oh,
what I'm
no.
saying.
I keep it as Shanks equal over.
What you mean? Put some respect on Griffin, bro.
No, it's high dip for sure, but
that shit isn't even black, bro.
I just have no reason to believe that.
And there's only 2 characters in the entire series with a black blade.
And that's Ryuma and Mihawk.
You know what's
so
crazy?
why
Like,
I see
niggas be
it-
like, well, there's no way Shanks is just using his sword the whole time. Like, well, Shanks typically pulls out his sword. And he only got one. And he only got one arm. So what we doing?
If he's comparable to Mihawk, why is his sword not black?
Why are all of like the great people not? Why does no great person have like a black blade?
It doesn't like it doesn't matter.
Not a single great swordsman.
That's my god.
It doesn't matter if Mihawk's sword. What's up? It doesn't matter if Mihawk's sword is always black and Shank's sword isn't always black, because once Shank actually hockeys it up to become black, they're probably on more of an equal playing field. Just Mihawk has the advantage of like this sword is always black. That's all that.
Black blades are superior.
I don't.
No. Listen. Wait. You try to take something and just act like it's a fact.
I'm about
and
to click the
like
cheeks.
it's no. And
Wait, what?
like this, you're not about to do nothing like
still
that.
on the train.
Driss is about to become missing, and you're not gonna hear from Driss anymore. Y'all gonna be like, "Yo, what happened to Driss?"
Yo, bring it, little man.
I think it has something to do with what you said, but
what is going on?
So check this out. Nobody said something that Shank's sword is superior to Mihawk's sword. Plus, Mihawk has a supreme great sword. What I'm talking about is that just because Mihawk's sword is always black and Shank's sword isn't always black, Shanks can hockey up. And they can clash and stuff. And I'm pretty sure Shanks isn't gonna get, like, his sword isn't gonna break. He isn't gonna get thrown back.
That's a
because
given,
Mihawk has a
bro.
black blade.
That's a given.
All right. So what I'm saying is that the only advantage Mihawk really has with that is that his sword is always hockeyed up. Yeah. No, just that his sword is always hockeyed up. He doesn't have to.
That's his
He
advantage.
doesn't have to waste. He doesn't have to waste hockey probably to hockey it up because his sword's already hockeyed
I don't
up. That's
think
what
it
he
works
has.
like that, bro. But I get where you're coming from.
But look, just because wait.
Just because he's the world's strongest swordsman and has the best sword and is the best person using a sword does not make him a better swordsman than Shanks.
No, listen, look. This doesn't even have to. This doesn't even have to be. This doesn't even have to be Shanks only. Like One Piece is not a simple story, right? Like I'm pretty sure Big Mom with Napoleon can wash Mihawk in a sword fight only.
That's
Big Mom.
Okay, now you're high.
That's
Ooh, that is I've actually never heard this come up in conversation. This is
Driss is whack, right? For
no,
like,
if
I
you
don't know.
actually think Big Mom alone with her sword can even compare to Mihawk, that's actual cap.
You think Oda wrote Mihawk as the greatest sword for him just not to be the greatest sword?
Nigga, that's kneecap, nigga. That's Colin Kaepernick.
Actually ridiculous.
You
can't be serious.
Listen, Colin Kaepernick.
That's Minish Cap.
You're taking his title though, like the wrong way. Like just because all right. Here's the thing, right? Like Big Mom, right? She's not a swordsman, right? Or she's not a swordswoman, or she is, but we know the type of character that she is. Like she's a Yonko, right? And we know how strong the Yonko are. Where Mihawk, it's not like keep this in mind, right? This is a fact. When what's his name died, when Whitebeard died, was they like the only ones who can stop it now is DeMarco and the remnants of the Whitebeard pirates are Blackbeard. No, they didn't say that. Well, remember they was like
Marco and the Warlords.
What about him?
No, I'm saying that they didn't say like when it was time to talk about who's going to become the next Yonko, they pretty much was just betted on Marco and the Whitebeard part. They didn't say like, okay, it's either going to be Mihawk or it's going to be Marco. It's like, no, Mihawk wasn't even in that conversation. And it's like he's not
even
Yonko.
relevant to what we're talking about.
No, it is because we're talking
Todd,
about.
you're actually just pulling out things.
No, I'm not. So
yeah, you're pulling out the longest doobie.
You're whack because like you'll talk serious all while I'm not here. Then when I join and I'm bringing up points. Wait.
But Mihawk,
then when I join and I'm bringing up points.
Anybody
actually explain to you
verbatim? We've been serious this whole time.
No, Driss is like
Driss,
joking around now that I'm here. But listen, look.
Yo, this guy Ty's playing with my scrotum, man. What the hell?
What is going on? What are y'all doing?
Yo, what the fuck?
But look, we know how strong Big Mom
What
is.
the
We know how
fuck
strong
is-
Shanks
what?
is. We know how strong Kaido is. We know how strong Whitebeard is. Big
And they're
Mom
not
doesn't
better
have to be.
swordsmen, and they're not stronger than Mihawk with just using a sword.
Can I talk without getting cut off? What are you cutting me off for? You scared or something? What I have to say? Like,
All
it scares you?
right, Kai, if I let you go on a soliloquy and I respond back and prove you wrong, I don't want rebuttals.
Oh no.
No, but I don't have plans of cutting you off, so I don't know what you're yapping on about. Like,
That's
stop
always
being
no plan. All right, go ahead.
all
Kai.
right. Silence. So like the type of character that Big Mom is, right? And this is not Big Mom. This is Shanks, Big Mom, Whitebeard, Blackbeard. Like they don't. Blackbeard doesn't have a sword, so that's different. But like Big Mom and Shanks, right? Or even Kaido with his club. They don't need to be swordsmen to beat Mihawk in a sword fight just because they're so raw. Like they're so raw. Like in terms of like their stats, right? So like say like in terms of their stats, right? So look, so let's just make a random stat so y'all can get an example of what I'm saying since it's complicated and I don't understand it.
No,
Yeah,
I
let's say if
understand it, but nigga, you just said it don't need supposed to be.
Yeah, but that's what we're gonna do since obviously you don't get it. But look,
Taekwon.
All right, look.
Let me. Can I say something? Can I say one thing, my G?
Go ahead.
You just said they don't need swords to beat him in a sword fight.
That's not what I'm talking about. Listen, what I meant to say is that they don't need to be pure swordsmen like Mihawk to beat him in a pure sword fight.
I got
is what I'm saying.
I got you.
All right, listen. So, like, when it comes to like people like Kaido and Whitebeard for like imaginary stats, it's like we could say that Kaido's offense would be like 999, or it could be like Whitebeard's offense would be like 999, like his attack power because he's the strongest man in the world, strongest creature in the world.
Yeah.
So we can give Mihawk 999 with a sword. Like it doesn't matter, but that's gonna be where he's gonna be best at. You know what I mean? Like but Kaido, right? He might be like his swordsmanship might be like he one shot at Luffy so quick. His swordsmanship might be like 700. Big Mom's swordsmanship might be like 650, 700, whatever. But when these other stats come into play, like Big Mom's defense that's close to a 999, or Kaido's defense that's close to a
9,000 and shit.
Yeah. And then all these other speeds, like Kaido's dumb fast. Like Kaido could have like this 8,000 speed and all like like they're gonna beat Mihawk, even though Mihawk is the world's strongest swordsman.
Okay,
because they're
You said why?
You said why? Before either of you continue, I have one question for both of you guys.
Wait.
What does it mean? What does being the world's strongest swordsman mean to you personally? What does it mean?
It means all right. So here's the other thing.
And then Dritch, you answer me.
It just means that you have the title for that. It doesn't mean like y'all take that title, right? And y'all make it seem like he's invincible. He fights anybody with a sword, he wins automatically. That's like if Mayweather's the boxing champion, doesn't mean if he was to fight this next dude, the next dude's gonna lose. No, dude has a chance to win. It's just that Mihawk is not Mihawk.
I actually fuck with that.
Yeah.
Okay, I hear what you're saying.
That Mayweather is just the current champion. That's all I mean. So Mihawk is the favorite. Like he's you would think he's gonna win in every sword fight, but that might not be the case because it's just a title. Dude isn't the what's the word for something when like you're I don't know if the manga did that already. Not that, but like is there a word for like somebody in the manga who like they just kind of like undefeated, but like where like they just can't like it's different. We're like all right.
So you mean
wait,
hold on. You mean undefeated, but they've never been really challenged by nobody?
No, not that. All right, I just got a better word for it. So like some mangas is like. This person, like if we use Madara, for example, like this person is perceived as a god, so therefore none of these other humans can beat this person. They're a god. Mihawk doesn't have that status. He's not the sword god. You know what I mean? No, he's not a god. He's just the strongest swordsman.
But Ryuma dead.
No, but you get what I'm trying to say. That's the kind of thing that like Mihawk just has a title, just like Mayweather has a title that somebody can beat and take from him. Mihawk doesn't have.
So you're saying
he's
whoever
not
had
a
it
sword
before,
god.
he beat him, and then since getting that title, he hasn't lost it in terms of swordsmanship.
Yeah, but for example, he can fight Shanks tomorrow in a sword fight, and he can lose to Shanks. Now Shanks got it. You get what I'm trying to say? Or Shanks could lose to Zoro, and now Zoro got it. Or what? Like yeah. But if he was a god. You know what I mean? Like some type of sword god or just some type of god in general, then it would be different. Then we'd be like, okay, like somebody else would have to get like kind of like back to the Naruto thing. You know how like for them to even stand a chance versus Madara, they have to get 6 path powers.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm saying. Like Mihawk doesn't have that going on. Where like to even beat this guy, you need, you know what I mean? Like some type of sword god powers.
Okay, pause. And then Dritz, what is world's strongest?
Wait, what'd you say now? You broke up.
To you.
That boy lagging.
Is he here?
What does world's strongest?
You lagged
sorry.
I said, what does world's strongest mean to you?
World's strongest swordsman. Swordsman. What does that mean to you?
That means Mihawk, out of any person in the world that uses a sword as their main weapon, Mihawk is better than them and stronger than them in that field.
Okay, so if I was a swordsman, if I was a swordsman, right, and I was fighting Mihawk, and let's just say, for example, his swordsmanship in general was better than mine, but I only won because in conjunction with like my swordsmanship, I had some type of devil fruit, and I won.
Yeah, if your main fighting style is the devil fruit, then yeah, you have a chance of winning. But there's no swordsman.
So hold on. So like, we could stop at your example. Like when I was comparing people like Big Mom, Shanks, and Kaido, it's the same thing, just that no devil fruit is involved. It's like, okay,
no,
like,
but they're not going to win because of their sword.
No, listen.
If they only use their sword, they're getting destroyed.
No, you're thinking too weak, right? So
that's the thing I do that you don't do, Ty.
No, look, this is the problem, and I'm about to destroy you on stream because like you made a performance.
Oh no.
So look, so one thing, right? So you know the example that you just gave, right? How like if it was all up to swordsmanship, Mihawk would win, but because stop cutting me off, like stop it, Drizz. I'm speaking. I didn't cut you off.
That dong, dude.
And stop being gay on stream. Like the joint is like.
Oh my god!
No, I know you're homophobic, Ty.
As opposed,
it has nothing to do with that. Just stop being gay on stream. But listen, all right, so just like you had the example where Mihawk probably would win, but if somebody had a double fruit and they used it together, right, with the swordsmanship, that they could probably win, right? But it doesn't have to be just that. Like if Mihawk is fighting Big Mom, right? And in terms of swordsmanship, Mihawk has the edge. But when it comes to like defense and offense of power and, you know, like other stats coming into play, like endurance and stuff, Big Mom can still win that way too. If you get what I'm trying to say, it's just winning with these other broken stats instead of winning with a devil fruit. Do you understand what I'm saying?
If Big Mom beats Mihawk, which I don't think she can, but she has a chance. If Mihawk is defeated by Big Mom, it has nothing to do with her ability to use the sword.
No,
nothing at all.
Look, listen. All right, so say like in terms so all right, look. If Big Mom is fighting Mihawk, right? So say like Mihawk is quicker, right? He's cutting Big Mom, but he's not really doing any damage to Big Mom. Like his cuts aren't affecting Big Mom. Because Big Mom has what did the manga tell us about Big Mom? What did Capone say? He said, "I never."
So no person in the series by that juncture can harm Big Mom. No one. No top tier can hurt Big Mom.
This is his weapons that can hurt her.
No, listen. Capone said,
Answer
right?
the question.
Capone said that he never seen Big Mom take damage.
And she hadn't fought another Yonko in over decades. So what's that say?
She just fought Kaido and did pretty good for not having Zeus with her.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So you're saying Kaido can't hurt.
All right. So now you're being silly. Anyway, like I'm giving an example anyway. All we have is examples and theories at this point. So it's no stop acting like.
So I mean, obviously, this entire conversation is speculation. We know that.
Yeah, exactly. So stop it, Drizz.
No, I want you to answer the question. Wait,
hold on, Todd. Taekwon. He asked you a very valid question.
Wait. So
he asked you a very valid question.
That the manga backs up. That Capone said he never seen Big Mom take damage. We didn't really see her take any damage. So it's possible that if when Nami hit her, she was just more
We've seen her take damage before. So that's not true.
When she scraped her knee?
Yeah, when she scraped her knees. That was taking damage.
All right, but now you sound stupid, right?
No, I'm just being factual.
No, you're not being factual. You're being fake factual.
Did she not?
What the hell is fake factual?
So look, so this is how you're being fake factual, right? I just want to point this out to y'all listening, right? We know that a lot of setup how much setup had to happen for that to even happen for her to even get damaged. So it's like stop it, Drizz. Like Mihawk isn't gonna have all of that preparation if he's fighting. No, you're being
968.
You know that it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like, all right, so like if. It doesn't matter.
He just did a Kaido sign.
Like what Drizz is talking about, and this is what I mean. It's like you like acting so smart, but then when somebody is talking to you in a smart way, then you start acting stupid.
You literally say this to every person you
Vergo,
talk to. You can't talk to someone without trying to demean them.
Let me ask you a question, all right? Because you're the host, right?
What's up? What's up?
So if Big Mom, that one time that she got hurt, right, that had all the preparation about it, Capone was on her crew for a long time to learn about that. Like if that's the only time that she got hurt, right, that we've seen, if she was to fight Mihawk, is it possible, right? Like, is it highly possible that Mihawk is going to be able to pull off the same thing in order to hurt her? No, right?
No, but
Ty,
hold on, Taekwon.
Literally,
I'm not
answer
what I'm
Stop what you're saying.
So look, I'm just gonna say,
can I chime in, please?
You're cutting me off.
Stop what you're saying and please answer my question, please.
No, look, if you're cutting me off, you're just proving.
Answer my question.
I want to chime in real quick.
Just answer my question.
I'm coming with the facts. You can't hear.
Answer my question.
Answer his question.
Here we go.
No,
Just
I'm not
answer
answering his question. Wait. I'm not answering his question.
It's literally the easiest question to answer. Yes or no?
Finish saying what you were saying.
No, I want to say what I was going to say because I want you to understand what he's alluding to is the fact that when it comes to swordsmanship, she is not on par. But when it comes to everything else, she got it.
Wait. I want to let you know this. Didn't I already say that? I already gave Mihawk the edge in swordsmanship and pure but a fight isn't all
Answer
about
my question,
pure swordsmanship. What's
Answer my question. My question is, so you're saying by the portrayal of the manga, Mihawk cannot hurt Big Mom because so many factors have to come into an equation in order for her to get hurt. So can no top tier, none of them hurt Big Mom?
This has nothing to do with that. Yeah. What I'm saying, all right, look.
How? We're literally talking about what it takes to hurt her.
No. Look, now what you're doing, right?
Answer the question.
Manga backs
Don't run away.
We only seen her get damaged that one time under those one circumstances. And then,
so no one else
besides even that, listen, Capone said himself,
there it is.
I've never seen her take damage besides that one time under those one situation. But listen, that has nothing to do with what we're talking about. What we're talking about right now.
Yes, it does.
Based off what we've seen so far, Big Mom's not taking damage, so she can fight. Mihawk, and Mihawk might have the advantage in the swordsmanship. Like he might be able to flip his sword up in the air, catch it, cut her, and do all this other stuff like that. But he's not gonna be able to do damage.
I don't know why you're running away from what I'm trying to allude to.
And Big Mom can win. You know what I mean? Like it'll be like that. Like
just literally answer the question.
Could damage her, he would have did better, but he lost. So
answer the question. No top tier can hurt Big Mom.
I don't know why you're acting like that, but do you get my point? How like Big Mom can beat Mihawk, right? Even though Mihawk has better swordsmanship.
Well, I understand that, Ty, but you're not answering the
I'm asking everybody else.
of my question.
I'm not even asking you, Dritz.
So this is everybody how much you admit defeat. You won't answer the question.
No, it's like
because you know I'm right.
No, I know you're wrong. That's why, and I'm not even.
Then answer the question.
Can you repeat the question?
So
can any top tier hurt Big Mom?
Yes.
Did we see
Big Mom can be hurt?
Wait.
Going over.
Her kneecaps hurt. What the fuck when she dropped?
But that was under a certain situation because of the
no one can hurt her then. No single person in the verse can hurt her.
Like,
that's not what we're
circles at this point.
So look.
No, they're not going.
What I'm talking about.
We've reached the impact.
Dritz is on the losing side of our argument, right? Look, so we have
literally running away from my argument.
No, I'm not. Look, we have the facts backing us up. So right, look, so isn't this the facts, right? That besides the Mother Caramel stuff, Big Mom has not took damage. That's the fact. So if right. Using the facts, right?
That's a fact.
Because we're logical people, right? We're not just gonna be making stuff up. If she was to fight Mihawk, how is he damaging her without the Mother Caramel?
Let me ask you the same question using your exact same logic. Wait. Using the facts from the manga that we've been shown, Big Mom has only been shown to be hurt ever with the Mother Caramel picture. So using that logic, no character in the series ever can hurt her.
That's
same logic. True. That's what we've been shown.
But we know that's not true.
We know that's not true because she
know that's not true.
She said she can't beat Roger, Shanks, or Kaido without the giant. So
or Whitebeard. No. Or
Whitebeard.
She didn't say that. She just said that if she had them, like it would be.
So Big Mom is better. Big Mom is stronger and would win in a fight against.
Wait. Look. Either way, right? The manga has shown us that. Look, either way, the manga has shown us that it's not an easy thing to damage Big Mom. This is not something that.
That's
all right. Listen. So why is he acting like a crybaby just because I
because you're literally running away from.
Don't be rude. He's not.
No, he is. That's what he's doing.
I'm not.
He's not.
Yes, he is. People's gonna replay the stream and make fun of you because.
Yeah, I was showing you.
What?
You're crying about everything.
This is exactly what you were saying about earlier at the beginning. Now that I'm taking the conversation seriously, now you're trolling me.
No, because you're not. Well, either way,
now
right?
You're running away from my question.
No. I'm not running away from your question. Either way, you started. That's what you get. Like you shouldn't
be
immature
from the jump. He's not crying, bro.
He's keeping it in the playing around for in the first place. But listen, look. Anyway, I made a very realistic example of something based off what we see in the manga. That and this is only one example. I don't know why you cut me up. I can't even finish my example. But so if Mihawk was to fight Big Mom under those circumstances, right? She can win. All I was trying to point out was how somebody can get a win, even though Mihawk has the edge in pure swordsmanship because Big Mom is a monster. Kaido is a monster. Shanks is a monster. Like it's not all about swordsmanship. Like they don't really need to depend on that just to win. But Mihawk needs to depend on his swordsmanship to win because that's his main thing.
And that's like saying.
All right. And hold on. Listen. Do anybody else have any comments about what I said? Yes. About So you see how that's possible, right?
I got a few.
That's a comment.
Look. Now, if Big Mom wins,
Waldo?
People will be like, "Look, if Big Mom wins,
she doesn't win. That's the thing.
Waldo, what's up, my boy?
Waldo.
Look, if Big Mom,
What's up?
Oh,
Look,
the
He came
goat.
in strong.
look, if Big Mom wins,
Mr.
people will be
Shiryu
like,
over Beckman.
people will be
I'll
like,
never forget
Dad,
you said
Big
that.
Mom. Like if Big Mom win, people will be like, Dad, she had that crazy defense. You know what I mean? And that crazy offense. And like Mihawk, like
But
Big Mom won.
Ty, what if Mihawk goes through her defense and Mihawk wins?
We're just talking about. Listen.
But
We're just talking about.
Let me finish my example. I'll let you talk. Let me talk. If Mihawk goes through Big Mom, then that would just make everything different, right?
Can you give me examples in the manga of something that would make it possible for that to happen based off what we know about Big Mom?
We've never
No. But listen.
I'm listening.
It doesn't
All right.
really matter.
Okay,
Because all right, look. You don't even have to do that because that doesn't really matter. All I was doing, right, was that Dritz tried to act like Mihawk is he wins every sword battle
Like
just
he's
because of his title.
undefeated.
Just
And
like
I said,
and all I was
We
doing,
also know that's not true because he's going to get beat by Zoro.
All right. True. Look, now all I was doing was just giving an
Eventually,
example of how. Look. All I was doing was just giving an example of how, even though he has that title, and even if somebody was to fight him using a sword, how he can lose just because there's other stats involved.
Ty, do you remember
It's just not about
when I said that
it's just not about pure swordsmanship.
And did you remember, Ty, when I said at the beginning of this, what the word "world's strongest swords" it means to me is that if anyone whose main fighting style includes the sword fights Mihawk, they're weaker than him.
But listen, I said that Big Mom fights Mihawk. Look.
Because
What I
that's not
mentioned
Big
fits
Mom's
what you're
go-to.
saying. Look. What I mentioned fits what you're saying because if Big Mom fights, if Big Mom fights Mihawk using Napoleon, but he just can't damage her, she's gonna win.
It's Big Mom's main fighting style, swordsmanship.
But listen, look.
It's a part
Nigga.
This is still him losing a swordsman fight, right?
How do you know that
if Big
would
Mom
lose?
Look,
that's what I'm saying.
No, I'm giving I'm just giving a scenario because he's acting like in a swordsman fight. Mihawk just beats everybody like he can't lose. I'm like, no.
I'm not saying anyone that uses
one example is
anyone
Big
who's
Mom. I just use Big Mom.
In actuality, he is the world's strongest swordsman. So if he says that, he's correct until it's proven.
Listen to what I'm saying. I'm saying that he has a sword, right? He's gonna use his sword. Big Mom is gonna use Napoleon, but because of like Big Mom's defense, right? And he's not gonna be able to hit Big Mom. She can still win because there's other stats involved in a fight. Like it's not just about.
So that's what you think. What's gonna happen in the fight?
Look, it's a logical example of how he can lose, even though he has that title.
I don't think it's very logical to say
y'all are
he can't
hyping up,
get hurt.
But look, y'all are hyping up that title like he can't lose. And then another thing, right?
You're hyping up her defense like she can't get hurt. So what's the difference?
But so far we didn't see her get hurt.
Usopp can snipe with devil fruit in her mouth and she died. Like, come on. And we're doing
look,
this.
But that's worse. Wait. Look, but that's worse than the Mother Caramel thing. Because it's like
that would be kind of fucking raw. Like you,
that would be kind of raw.
Like a piece of fruit. It takes a regular fruit, but it's like a devil fruit piece.
That'd be kind of fucking fire.
You die?
I can't even stand.
So crazy.
Hey Naya, I agree. That would be lit as a bitch.
I wasn't gonna let that comment go like without.
She's gonna eat it. So
that's like saying that's like saying Mihawk could trip or something like that, and his sword could go in his mouth and can kill him. It's like y'all gotta stop being silly about
nigga, those are not even.
Ty. I just said in general.
Nigga, that is not synonymous.
The Big Mom win condition that y'all talking about is not realistic. Neither was the.
Wait, what? Big Mom eating fruit is not realistic?
No, I'm talking about like somebody sniping her, like Usopp.
No, I didn't mean Usopp sniping Big Mom. I meant in general. If he did it to somebody, anyone who ate a devil fruit, that would be raw.
You seen him do it to Luffy?
No, all right, look, but I'm sure the people in the comments get it. I don't get what's the problem with what I said about what we know from Big Moms about taking damage and the example I gave, right? But listen, look, the other thing about Mihawk, the other thing about what Dritz said that's wrong. I don't know why he thinks somebody's like scared of what he said or somebody's hiding or somebody's avoiding him and like that. Can you explain your example of Mihawk's title one more time, Dritz?
My example of what it means to me.
Yeah. What it means.
What I said, I don't understand why this is hard.
He's like, what it means to him
No.
I said that.
No, just say it one more time.
Fights any swordsman
he
whose
literally said what it means to him
style
specifically.
is the way of the sword. Mihawk wins.
All right. So the other problem with what Dritz is saying is that somebody had that title before Mihawk, right? So then if that's what that title means, then that means Mihawk would have never had that title in the first place. I get what I'm trying to say. Either way, you're finished. You're finished with the Big Mom example, and you're finished with this example. No. Look, if you're going to say that, right, we don't know if somebody had the title before him, then that's even worse because now you're like, just like y'all want to be like, oh, so if Big Mom fights me, no, wait, why are you cutting me off? Stop cutting me off. Chill.
You've been talking for the past 45 minutes, bro.
And you've been cutting me off for mad long. Look, I'm saying something, right? If this is the case, we just don't have to be inside another stream with each other if this is how you're gonna act. Because it's like I brought up some good points and you're acting like a baby.
Ty, I trolled you for fun for the first 5 minutes, but literally I've been asking you one question for the past like 30
you've been trying to make facts.
You've
been trying to make fake facts, and you have been.
No, I situations to your claims, and it gets you tilted because you can't.
No, you're not. I'm nowhere near tilted because like you're finished. You make zero sense ever since you started trying to explain what the strongest swordsman thing means to you. And when I mentioned
I said what it meant
the
to
Mihawk
me,
versus Big Mom thing.
Whenever you
right, and I just mentioned. Wait. Look, that's
now
cool. I have.
So now
Vergo. Let me ask you something, Vergo.
He ain't even here.
I'll be the mediator then.
I'll answer.
All right, look. So here's the question, right? Drizzt said I cut him off. I did cut him off, but how many times did he cut me off? So, but you get him trying to say like he cut me off like 25 times already, maybe more.
Now you know
I cut him off just now, and then he makes the biggest deal about it. Like, yo, you cutting me off? Like, yeah, no, I'm cutting you cut me off a lot.
Making a big deal about being cut off time. That wasn't me.
No, you just mentioned it.
Drizzt
yeah, because I trolled you.
Boys.
Yeah, come on now. Y'all grown ass men.
But listen, wait. But listen, look. You tried to say, right, that Big Mom can fight anybody, right?
Yeah.
But not take damage, right?
Maybe. Like I think she takes damage against any top tier.
No. I'm saying when I use my example of like Mihawk fighting Big Mom, right? But him losing because he can't damage her, then you go, oh, so you're trying to say that nobody can damage Big Mom?
Yeah, right? Because you assume that he can't damage her.
All right,
so I asked you a question.
All right, that's all cool. That's all cool. I was just asking.
Yeah, what I wanted to ask.
All right, look. Now, what I mentioned, right?
Look, you think other top tiers can hurt Big Mom?
Look,
is Mihawk not a top tier for you, and that's why he can't hurt her? That's what I wanted to ask you.
Look, when I mentioned that if what you're saying about that title is true, then that means that somebody else would have had it, and Mihawk would have never been able to take it from that person. You get what I'm trying to say? But then. Look. But then Vergo goes, oh, no, we don't know if there was a world greatest swordsman before Mihawk. So then that's like...
Nigga,
that's
we don't. What the fuck?
No, I
we
know,
don't.
But Vergo said that. But that's like trying to say, like, nobody in the series can damage Big Mom.
Hold on, bro. But what I said, Cap?
Most likely somebody had it before Mihawk. Look,
somebody
had it before Mihawk, and Mihawk beat them and took it.
Is what I said, Cap.
I don't care about it being cap or not.
A title's got to start somewhere. There's got to be a beginning.
And guess what, guys? We don't know whether or not the beginning was Mihawk.
It can be given,
the world's most beautiful.
Or he could have took it from somebody.
The beginning could have been Mihawk. You know that, right?
Yeah, a title's got to start somewhere. It could have been Mihawk.
Exactly. So I said we don't know, and so what I said was not fucking cap.
But you're saying no. Look, most likely somebody else had it before him. You're trying to say we don't know to try to wait.
What is this most likely when that's never been alluded to?
Listen. You're trying to use that. Mihawk always had it. Look, Vergo. You're trying to say that Mihawk always had it to try to defend Drizzt's points about what it means. Most likely, somebody had it before.
I'm not trying to defend shit, nigga. I'm just saying we don't know.
Listen. I'm not finished because look.
Other title in the series.
I'm not trying to defend shit, bro. I'm just saying we have no idea.
But that's a silly thing to say.
How is that silly? It's silly to
had it before Mihawk.
Hey, guess what? Assuming there's an ass out of you and me. So for me to assume that there's something there, I don't know if it's there, is dumb.
Wait, but it still doesn't matter because this is how wrong Drizzt has been, right? So, because most likely, right, somebody had it before Mihawk and Mihawk beat them and Mihawk took it, right?
We don't know that.
I'm not finished. Like, yo,
it does not matter if they had it beforehand.
Listen.
Currently, he is. That's the point.
No, that's not the point. Listen. Drizzt said, no, it's not.
But at the same time, the truth is we don't know at the end of the day. Like,
but listen. Look,
Drizzt, that's
Drizzt
why I
made
said what I said.
Like, wait. Look, listen. Drizzt made the title be something that, like,
when did I say
whoever has it, right? You said it means to you that whoever has it is the best, and like they can't lose. That's what you said. Like in terms of like, all right. Now listen. Now if that was if that's what that really meant, that means that
the
person who had
was
it,
that's your main.
That person who had it, if somebody had
but
it.
Listen. Look, but if it means what Dritz thinks it means, that means that the person who had it before Mihawk, right? Wouldn't be able. I'm not finished. Stop cutting me off.
You're gonna try to help you.
No, you're not.
He said, "No, you're not."
I'm literally trying to help you.
No, you're not.
He said, "Nigga, I don't need your help."
Bro, he's not saying he can't be suppressed.
Wait.
I'm saying that almost every other 99.99% of all swords in the fight Mihawk, he will win. But there is eventually going to be someone that comes along that's stronger.
There we go. That clears up everything. Fuck.
He wins almost every match.
Hold on, bro. I just want Ty to understand that I wasn't trying to push some random agenda.
Big Mom.
I wasn't trying to push some random agenda. I'm just saying there's no way of definitively knowing whether or not he was the strongest.
No, but listen. It doesn't matter because Dritz said whoever has the title. They can't be beat in a swordsmanship fight.
Bro, he just explained it.
But listen,
that's
he does. But listen, what I was saying anyway. Y'all keep cutting me off, right? So I'm about to leave because it's like this is cutting me off. Y'all cutting me off.
You finna leave, bro? Nigga, we're all keeping it a buck right now. I'm keeping it a buck.
No, but listen, look. Most likely somebody had it before Mihawk, who Mihawk beat and took it. And even if y'all want to try to act like, but Mihawk just always been a champion, and it has been nobody before him.
Taekwondo.
At some point, Zoro. Wait, listen, I'm not. Stop cutting me off. At some point,
I am cutting you off. I ain't gonna lie, but I want you to answer me real quick. Listen, bro. Listen, nigga to nigga, bro. Listen to me real quick.
Let me make my point.
Real quick.
I want to make my point. I didn't get to make my point.
I'm not being a dick. I swear to God, I'm not being a dick when I do this. I swear to God. Listen, I'm saying, can you tell me I'm not being genuine with you?
No, I'm getting cut off. So
all right, bet. Go ahead.
All right, listen. So it was somebody before Mihawk. It was somebody before Mihawk who had the title, who Mihawk beat. And even if y'all want to act like, well, Mihawk just always been a champion, so it wasn't somebody stronger than him. At some point, Zoro's going to beat him, so that the title can't mean what Dritz was saying it meant because somebody's going to have to beat.
Why not?
Because it's just like the Mayweather example I used.
Mihawk and Zoro.
It's like the
Mayweather claim the world's strongest swordsman at some point. Why is that not a possibility?
No, because listen, it's just like. Listen, it's like the Mayweather example where we have a champion, but that doesn't mean that the champion can't be beat.
So I'll make an addendum to Ty. Mihawk can't be beat by another primary sword user unless it's end of series Zoro. Is that better?
That's not even facts because you don't know that. What if somebody and beats Mihawk and
so
then
Zoro has? I think Oda's going to trade 24 years of writing promises to Mihawk and Zoro just to prove you right.
No, it's not about proving me right. All right, look, you got mad, right, when I gave the example of Mihawk fighting Big Mom, but Mihawk not being able to damage Big Mom. But now you made this example of nobody beats Mihawk besides Endgame Zoro. But when we seen Vista versus Mihawk, right? Wait. When we seen Vista versus Mihawk didn't OD
wasn't trying to win time.
Listen, when we seen that fight. When we seen that fight, it doesn't matter because when we seen that fight, this guy wasn't overwhelmed by Mihawk. They had like a stealth.
Mihawk also wasn't trying.
If he's so great, if he's so great, why he didn't one shot Vista? If he's so great, why he didn't two shot Vista? Do you get what I'm trying to say?
He's very specific on what he meant, and then
but listen.
And you didn't even address it. He asked you if you thought Big Mom was the primary swordsman, and you didn't even address it.
No.
Is Big Mom a primary swordswoman? Is Big Mom a primary swordswoman?
All right, but I'm out, so peace.
Can Crocodile beat Kaido?
No.
Is Big Mom a primary swordswoman? Answer the question.
I mean, at the end of the day, even if she wasn't, she would be the world's strongest swordswoman.
Bullies?
Yeah, I bullied that man.
Is her primary fighting style
bullying at the end, dude? I was literally just asking.
The way of the sword.
Oh, no, especially Dritz. Dritz is
it doesn't have to be a swordswoman.
I literally asked him a question at the beginning. I was trolling him being gay, but I asked the question and
nigga said being gay.
Bro,
I literally told him I was being extremely genuine with him, and he said I wasn't.
What are you talking
about?
That's right. You know what it is. Big news. Troll Patrol in the house. Vaccination in the house.
This shit is.
Bro, this nigga really just got mad at me, fam.
I swear you niggas is credit check.
We don't do them faggot ass factions around here, bro.
I just wanted to know what the world's best swordsman meant to each person. That's all I wanted to know.
To me, best
like, I understand what Ty was trying to say because I agreed with him, but he's
I
trying
actually
to,
like his title point. That was good. That was a good point.
Yeah, it was a good point. I just don't know where. I don't know why he was trying to I agreed with him with the Big Mom stuff, where it's like Big Mom could potentially beat Mihawk, but it's not because she's a better swordsman.
But that's a different way his title and she bodies him with her.
Y'all could even beat Vista. Get him the fuck out of here.
Oh my god, so bad. Come on.
I just don't see why you would make him the world's strongest.
Wait, that young Oden?
And then make multiple swordsmen better than him.
No, hey, hold on, Femo. Now listen, am I crazy for saying that it's like we don't know whether or not there was somebody before him?
We don't.
No,
I was asking Ty.
You're crazy. For sure.
If that applies to Mihawk, there's the same for literally every single title in the world. Was there the world's strongest man before Whitebeard? Was there a pirate king before Roger? Was there the world's strongest creature before Kaido?
Absolutely.
I'm in there.
We don't.
Absolutely. We have no idea. And I was just keeping it a buck. I'm saying we don't know definitively.
No, Vergo. No, we know about the Power King one because that was stated that he was the only guy to traverse the entire Grand Line. Go get to the end.
So that was a new title created at that point in time. We don't know.
It was a new title created. We don't know the previous world's strongest swordsman. That's a fucking fact. Or if there even was one.
They alluded to it.
Yeah, those other ones I agree with, but the fire one.
It's so obvious it was Vista. Come on.
Shut your
mouth. I agree with that. No, I'm just saying. This was looking. These recent chapters, this was looking like a monster. That's all I'm gonna say. This was looking like a monster.
Who was the person who asked what's the world's strongest swordsman to you, to everybody? I'm low-key trying to hear everybody's answer as well.
Bro, Taekwon, bring your bitch ass back in stream, nigga. You're not finna talk shit in my chat.
Okay.
That's one thing you're not gonna do. That's not what we do around here. Bring your bitch ass back in stream. If you want to talk, nigga, you gonna talk here.
Because mine is long and complicated.
Yeah, don't worry, Todd. I came in here. There ain't no fanboying going on in here no more.
All right.
That's cap.
Vergo start.
Just to speak quiet, bro.
Because no, fuck all that. If you want to debate Taekweezy, come debate.
No negativity.
Negativity? No, I'm not spreading negativity. But you're not finna come diss and chat like we not here, my nigga.
That's a fact.
No.
He is in chat.
You do that. I deserve it.
Just keep it a buck, bro. All I ever do around here is keep it a buck, bro. And I need you to keep the same thing. 99+1. That's all I want.
No, that's.
Tell him again, Vergo. Tell him again.
That's one. 99 + 1. That's 100. Oh shit.
You're a book.
I like that actually.
Well, it's pretty.
That's all I want.
It's pretty deadly.
Is that appropriated?
Pretty deadly, huh?
What did you say? Yeah, appropriated. What? Excuse me. Oh my god.
Yeah. What's everybody's answer though? I'm trying to hear.
I'm sorry. To what question, man?
To me?
Yeah, everybody.
It just means the guy who stands at the top in all sense of the words, in power, strength, ability, technique. Like he's the top of the top.
All right.
That's what world strong means to me.
In regards to people who primarily use a sword.
But it doesn't mean that he beats any other person who holds a sword either.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
But what we're saying is Big Mom is not a better swordsman because she's a Yonko.
She isn't a swordsman though. That's the
nigga. Fiji, that's not the point. That is not the point.
100% a swordsman. What the
She
hell?
classed her title with the sword, so she.
Like big news, bro. Did you hear me say that?
Because she's using swordsman techniques.
I'm thinking, right? Do y'all consider Katakuri a spearsman because he has
Shut the
that
fuck up.
trident?
I don't know if a spearsman is his thing, but he uses a spear.
Yeah.
Okay. Why would you ask that question, nigga? Like, do you want me to ask you? Do I consider a Whitebeard a Bacento man?
No, he would also be.
Stop it. Like, I'm not gonna ask that question. That's why.
That's a good question, man.
Stop.
I struggle with this because if there was a Gilgamesh or somebody who could just create a million swords, was Zoro Scarlet and beat him and hold his title?
And Urza Scarlet.
Would that guy be the strongest swordsman?
I guess so.
I mean, that's kid though. Isn't that technically kid? Isn't that technically kid? Can't just grab metal, create weapons. You know what I'm saying?
That's not kid. Stop it. Kid's ass.
Right. I'm saying that might be kid when he awakens. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta keep the possibilities open, man.
Let's go.
That's cap. What does it mean for you, Hemmings?
Hey, cap might be Dritz's favorite motherfucking word.
This because like I don't really have a good answer. This is why I was asking you this because I always think to myself, okay, so if I'm Fujitora, right? I fight with a sword, and I use gravity. And let's say he beats Mihawk, but he beats Mihawk because of his ability to use gravity, not necessarily the sword. What does that mean? Is he could Mihawk be the better swordsman but still lose because that guy's an ability in conjunction with his sword?
This would be the question to it for me.
Negative.
Whenever he uses his Dofru ability, is it always with the sword?
No. Like let's say like he's clashing with him, and after he summons a meteor, and then Mihawk has to stop what he's doing to like cut the meteor, and then gets to hit or something like that. Like that
depends on the world.
I mean, I don't know if you take the River cards as canon, but one of the River cards stated like he uses the blade as like a conduit for his double fruit. Like he uses like in conjunction with his double fruit, he uses his sword. Like they're like synonymous, like they're together.
I guess one of the oldest examples I could think of was way back in the day. My friend, this is the same guy I told you about. Just said he thinks Mihawk is a vampire. He was saying,
that guy?
Yeah, he was saying, what if like I can like channel electricity through my sword, and because of that, Mihawk is constantly having to defend his own body, like because obviously metal is gonna conduct it, right? And he wins because of that ability, but not necessarily because his swordmanship and techniques were better than Mihawk's.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I mean, I don't think any fight in One Piece between top tiers would be that simple.
It won't.
Like, you're gonna win because you deserve to win, I think.
Yeah.
And I don't think there has to be a pretty big difference because, like, the durability of One Piece is too big for like that to just win, I think.
Yeah, and then for me, it's like, how come when it comes to world strongest titles, there's only really a swordsman? Like, what happened to all the other bladed weapons? Because I was like, okay, what if I'm not a stronger swordsman, but I use a Basento, right? And I beat him with my Basento. What does that mean for me? What do I get? What do I
The
get?
world's strongest Basento man, my nigga.
I mean, in the One Piece world, weren't probably Zantos counted as blades too? As like, so weren't all blade weapons counted as
there's
swords?
supreme of it, but I'm just saying because like it's at the end of the day, it's still a battle of weapons, right? So it's like, and they're bladed. Obviously, they're not the same type. I'm not gonna say obviously if one has more reach or whatever, it's different. But I'm just saying like, if I was able to beat him like that, how come I don't get anything? Do I get a title? Like what? How come there's no titles?
If your primary weapon of fighting was to use the Basento, I think it would count for you.
I mean, it's not.
But like the reason it doesn't count for White is because he just used it as part of like he would fight with it, but he wasn't like particularly.
He would use his Quake fruit with it too to like.
Yeah, so he was known for the Quake fruit more so than his technique with his Basento.
Right?
Same thing. I think that's the same thing for Big Mom and the same thing for Fuji.
But I mean, ultimately, it's smart to just have a weapon. Like, why not just carry a tool, lead a sword on you? Like, why wouldn't you? Like, it just makes sense.
Right.
So is Kaido a clubman? Is he a clubman?
He might be a clubman.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
He's
the strongest clubman.
He's the home running king.
That's right.
My thought on it is, I think it means that the world's strongest swordsman means that you're the best at the skill and like pizzazz of using the sword, like alone. Like that's why I think Mihawk can beat Shanks, because I think Shanks only uses a sword. So like I don't think anybody's beating Mihawk until Zoro comes along at like a pure swords fight, because Mihawk is much more skilled at all the techniques of like, for example, waving a sword and all that what like has to do with like using a sword. For example, like in basketball, like the best dribbler, like they have like whoever can like dribble the ball most effectively and like use all the skill moves and all that. I think that's what Mihawk is to like swords fighting, and I think that's what it means.
Here would be the addendum I add on to that, especially when it comes to Shanks.
You
And just
love
the
that word.
titles.
You literally love the
What does
addendum word.
mean?
It's
like an addition. It's like a note to it.
It's a good word.
Essentially.
I know what it means, Niglet.
I was asked. Darkness, calm down. But
submit your heart to darkness.
No, you're good.
So I think at some points, Oda just kind of plays the field with the meanings of the titles, where like a lot of it is just supposed to put you on a certain playing field. So when it comes to Shanks, some people might believe that because he lost his arm, he lost skill in swordsmanship, which is like, you know, it's a reasonable thing to assume. But it doesn't mean that Mihawk would beat him. So the way I see it is like, you know, Whitebeard was the world's strongest man, but he was also equal to the Pirate King. But for me, that was the way of Oda defining Whitebeard's fame by giving him a title no one else had, but him and Roger were still like equal in strength.
Mm-hmm.
And physically, I don't think Whitebeard was literally the strongest person in the world. But like that was a title just to give him respect. That's how I would also say if like Mihawk and Shanks fought. I don't know who would win. But you know, I think Shanks can win. I think Mihawk might be able to win.
I think the fans would win that, right?
Yeah. That's how I would look at it.
My thought on the Whitebeard being the world's strongest is I don't necessarily correlate strength to like individual like a 1v1 fight, because I think like Whitebeard's strength had to do with his devil fruit, and I think he could like destroy a lot of stuff that maybe Roger couldn't, like farther away, strength? And that has to do with his strength. But I feel like Roger might be able to beat him in a 1v1 fight because it's much more like isolated in a particular area of like fighting, and a whole bunch of different skills are used necessarily rather than to do with brute strength that Whitebeard's devil fruit afforded him. So I believe that the world's strongest man title was attached to his devil fruit and what he was able to do because he had that devil fruit that nobody else could do. Like
that's fair to say. There's also a couple of other variables to consider because, like, sorry, go ahead.
What's up, Devil Egg?
No, I was just going to jump. I was just gonna say I always thought it was just like a like when they said world strongest, it meant by like physical strength. I never look at it like as power, as overall strength. I just looked at it as just like physical, just like how much you can lift them and bench press. That's what I looked at it.
What I was gonna say was like, ultimately it depends on what everyone's definition of what strength means is different, and also you gotta wonder when he got the title. I don't know if we know that. Like, could he have gotten that after Roger passed away? Like, there's a lot of
he had it before Roger's age.
Oh, did he actually?
He got the title. Well, according to the Viva cards, he got the title before Roger became Pirate King.
Okay, so Viva cards. Yeah,
it was before he became
Pirate King. I think 6 is the last one I read. So
what exactly are we talking about here?
And it was also after the Oden.
We're talking about titles.
It was after he met Oden too, because whenever saw the introduction box, he just said.
Right. Yeah. So he got it somewhere in between. It was before Roger became Pirate King. He had the title.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Never mind. That changes everything. I was gonna say that. Never mind. I stopped reading those after a point. I just couldn't take it.
I mean, I don't blame you.
I feel like it's such a...
And also, didn't they fuck up the Shanks timeline thing with when he became a Yonko?
No, they didn't actually fuck that up. Arthur fucked that up.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
They never said
Arthur threw in a suggestion for a timeline, but it was not in the Viva cards. And people took that as like being in the Viva cards. I did it as well. I got confused. So we started saying that Shanks, blah, blah, blah.
Didn't the Viva card just say like 12 years ago? It didn't really give like well, that's a specific time. You know what I mean? They didn't give like a...
Well, his was the only translation I started reading after one point. I used to read like the other ones, and then when his came on, I look at his too. But at one point, I started reading his. I think I said it. It said like by the time he came to Future Village, he was already one, which didn't make sense to me. And then after, I think the story confirmed it was the case. But so I thought there was a contradiction. But I didn't know that he just messed up translating. So I didn't know.
Yeah, well, he made a suggestion. It was like in like parentheses, like.
Yeah, usually he'll say that like I don't like this could mean this and that the other. Like
yeah, and people, including myself, we took it a bit too far. What it meant. So that's basically what happened.
Yeah.
All right, that changes my perspective.
I feel like Whitebeard's title is so vague because in like a battle manga or shonen, strongest can mean like 1v1 skill, or it also can mean like brute strength, and that's like, so what is it saying? Like, what does that mean?
I mean, 1v1 means a lot of things. Like 1v1, like bet on his intelligence. It could mean several things. Like, you know,
but
1v1, he will be the victor. Obviously, not intelligence.
People. I guess I'll just add this in because this is the last thing I was gonna say was like with Whitebeard, like as much as of a monster he was, and like you know he's an abnormality because how strong he was still considered a man, a human. As for every reason, Kaido, he's considered to be something more, a creature, a thing, right? He's not considered to be just a man, a person. And with Roger, I guess he just ended up getting a title bigger than that as the Pirate King, right? So it didn't matter what they perceived him as. But with Whitebeard being the strongest man in the world at the time of Marineford, whatever, I believe it for the most part.
Right, so I just looked at the Whitebeard V-Red card just to see what it was again. And the first line is Whitebeard attained the world of strongest in the world well before the Great Age of Pirates.
Okay.
So Great Age of Pirates is after Roger's death.
All right. So
he had that title sometime. We don't know when he got it.
It could the destructive scaling capability of the girl know me. You know.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of like other things. Yeah, because he was also really physically strong too. But it's like overall combined with what he can do, he was like the strongest basically.
Unfortunately, he refuses to dodge anything. So.
Hold on. Endless Blank said, looking at it, it said that Mihawk was famous, not that he attained the world's strongest swordsman before the Great Pirate era.
Yeah, so during Roger's era, Mihawk was still famous in the world.
Correct.
Like he was super famous, but he wasn't the world's strongest swordsman during that.
But was he Vista? No, he wasn't.
Facts. He still never beat Vista before. He still got beat Vista.
Yeah, so Mihawk's like journey goes. He was famous before the Great Pirate era started. He traveled around looking for challenges until no one else was worthy of challenging. So, you can take it for what you will from Mihawk. I think he's legit.
I always had a theory that he would want to fight Vista, but since Vista is like Whitebeard's son, Whitebeard wouldn't let his son do like a death battle with anybody. So like he just scratched him off of it. You know what I'm saying?
Also,
I don't think he's not against fighting him. I think at the time he just had something more important pressing on his mind.
I see Mihawk fighting Oden, possibly. I doubt he's going to be in this flashback, but it would make sense if he was famous well before the Great Pirate.
How many years ago would it be? Where are we at right now? How many years ago?
Mihawk would be a kid, little boy.
Because Mihawk's like 42.
Yeah, that would be a body bag.
He's saying like when Oden goes back to Wano and shit.
He would be like 4 years.
Also, still.
No, not even just that, bro. Because it says he's famous well before the Great Pirate. So
Mihawk would have got folded. What the fuck?
Yeah, I'm not saying he wouldn't have. I'm just saying it's a possibility.
Well, there are a lot of theories on like I don't know if Oden's ever going to touch on like who he actually beat to get that title. Like, it's kind of ambiguous. A lot of the Yonko's legacy is kind of like quote unquote up in the air. Like what they do to become Yonko.
I would say Drift. What I wouldn't like is if he actually got that title without being an extremely prominent swordsman. Like, oh, he's so strong. Let's give it to him. I would really hate that.
A lot of people's ideas is that they think he beat Rayleigh. Because Rayleigh has the exact same cape design as Mihawk, just a different color. Like the inside design is the same. Some people like take that to extremes. I don't know if there's a connection there or not.
Yeah,
but whatever.
Like Drift, how long has that been going around?
20 years. So I don't know about that shit.
How long has that been
Maybe he
going
got beaten 20 years ago and retired.
No.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
Yeah, I could be like 20 something.
My whole thing with titles is they're so weird because technically humans, like a man is a creature. So if Kaido is the world's strongest creature, then would that insinuate that he's stronger than Whitebeard, who is the world's strongest man? Because a man is a creature and humans are creatures.
I think the implication of the title is just to be like, it's like I said before, how the titles are just supposed to be there to like add hype, like this guy's one of the strongest in the verse kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's just like
I mean, Whitebeard was
because of his devil fruit, they consider him a creature. So it's not like he's stronger than Whitebeard, just like he's up there in strength, kind of.
Yeah, and to me, that's just a matter of perspective how you look at it. I don't think that's so true.
Yeah, I don't think it's true. I'm just saying that's why I'm trying to like add.
I just thought it meant he was the strongest zone user. Like we're not gonna see another zone before you the stronger than him. That's how I looked at it.
What you think?
Well, I mean, you can also
not beating him.
Yeah, no. I think if Kaido's awakened, I'm saying if Kaido's awakened, he's definitely gonna be the strongest zone for you to receive the story. And if he's mythical as well, come on.
That's true because you'll have a healing factor. That'll be kind of crazy.
Yeah. If he is his own fruit user, I feel like he's got to be the strongest one.
He's definitely his own fruit user. What else could it be? Yeah?
We talked about it earlier. We said he might be a dragon. It was up in the air.
A real dragon?
We spoke on it.
You might be black.
Nah, man. They really alluded to like him transforming back and shit. Like I don't see it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't think he did stop again, Waldo.
It looked exactly the same as how whenever Queen transformed back. So
and he explained like the Momonosuke thing about him, like the cloud with the clouds and flying and shit like that. And that's
yeah,
like,
we had questions about that, but it still hasn't been disproven. So people want to believe it, they can still believe it if they want to.
We spoke about it in Japanese mythology, how dragons could transform into humans and also stuff like that.
I just saw the cloud thing as like a byproduct of his mystical zone fruit. Like, you know, all the zone fruits have, all the mystical ones have like the added ability to it. Like the healing and you think that's the Buddha. I thought that was just something that had to do with his double fruit.
Well, that's what it is for Momonosuke. He creates clouds and then flies on. That's what Oden said it was for Kaido. He flies on clouds. He creates clouds, just like Momonosuke, basically.
Yeah. I just saw in the chat, Salamander Red, we spoke on that earlier, that Kaido could be a dragon, and we've seen like animals could eat like devil fruits that ate the Oni fruit, and that's also possible as well.
It's possible. I think it's more unlikely, but
that yawn though.
It's late, man.
Don't I can believe it if you think on Roger's, if it was the egg on Roger's shit. That's the only way I can believe.
No, hey, but I'm talking that shit because I'm, as funny enough, I'm actually going to end it.
You're drunk, Vergo?
I am slightly inebriated.
Did you see what this Zoro nigga just said? What?
What'd he say?
Nigga said, shouldn't Kaido have an ancient zone instead of a mythical zone because dragons...
No, that's what
Who gives
Lando
a
actually
fuck?
made that
All right,
argument
anyway.
for a while.
Yo. Hey, it's time. It's time.
No.
All right, yo, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming through.
You know, Lando, check
I
out the
appreciate,
picture.
shut your mouth. I appreciate all 74 of y'all watching. Y'all are awesome. It's time to end it. I appreciate y'all coming through. It's been lit than a motherfucker.
No. Not all 74 of you are awesome. Just some of you.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Those of you that read Tower God are awesome.
The ones who like Hunter, you guys are cool.
The ones who think Shanks is...
I'm surrounded by fucking crackheads.
Confirmed.
Mihawk over Shanks. Believe it.
Shut up, you fucking plebes!
Akainu should have killed Luffy.
Bug number one.
Akainu's not time in the verse.
Oh my god. Ignore all of them. All of y'all have a great night. I'm surrounded by fucking apes.
Like and subscribe.
If you don't think Akainu's top,
like and subscribe if you hate all of us.
Suckers Blitz the king.
Akainu's top 1.